Hey, Cynthia, what's up? You good? Mariana joining from Colorado. What's going on? YouTube is live. Oh, you hear me now? Okay, I'm just gonna make sure. I don't know if you heard what I was talking about, but the weather in New York City right now, 75 degrees. The high is 82, the low is 66. Tonight is gonna be nice in New York. Tomorrow's beach weather, by the way, y'all. It's gonna be sunny. 84 degrees tomorrow. Big shout out to all y'all at Atlantic Beach. All right, Michelle Marie says, yeah, we hear you. Big shout out to Karen Brewer, Melbourne, Australia in the house. Big shout out to Mandy, Faith, Emerald Faith. Good morning from Lockdown, Australia. You're locked down in Australia? Oh my God. All right, everybody's in the house, everybody's in their seats. I guess it's time for me to let it go. But before I do that, I'm gonna play a little commercial. Word up. Hey, Tashina Richards, what's good? Yeah, I'm running a little commercial real quick. I can see it. Are they changing it? I don't know about. Nah, they can't. I don't know about that. They can't do it like that. Yeah, welcome to the Real Discussion. What's up, y'all? Nothing going on here. Just got home. Annual booby smashing monogram. Oh, yeah. Yeah, booby smashing. Well, I guess that's when they mash your breasts. I guess that's what that is. Today's Grown Fall Talk, y'all. We got a lot to talk about.
I would like to participate.
What's up, Michelle Marie? How's it going, Marie?
1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah.
Bird. Look at this going. I want to play this commercial. Once again, you're now tuned into the Real Discussion with Rock Logic, Gary Fax, my man Jeff, Robin, and Rocky D. Rocky couldn't be here today. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about that Nas X video. That new thing is really out of control. Yep, Latin says, hey, Robin, what's up? Word up. Make sure you share, y'all. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And I'm going to hit the button right now. 1, 2, 3, and bang. Word up, y'all. Welcome to the Real Discussion with Rock Logic, Gary Fax, my man Jeff, and of course Robin. Rocky D's not here today. And since we filled the seat, we're not going to put a mannequin in the seat like we normally do. We're not going to do that. A lot of things going on. LaFonda says, good evening, happy all. What's up? Yep, happy Friday to you. Robin, you look awesome. That's what's in the chat room right now. Hillary says that. Yeah, you look vibrant today.
I think it's this light on me.
Is it the light? You're looking really vibrant today, Robin.
It's the Robin lights.
Yeah, Robin.
This is the Beyonce light.
Yeah. It's heavy. It's heavy. Yeah, man. So this week, you know what I did, right? So I went to the doctor, right? I finally went and got my checkup. I finally, I didn't get a booby mashing thing. I didn't have to do that. Although I heard that men can do that, get a booby mashing, And I went to go and get my checkup. And my doctor's like, you're okay. You're kind of at the beginning of old age. You know what I'm saying? Like, your heart's got a lot of miles on it. You might want to take care of yourself. So I was feeling a certain kind of way. He's like, you got a leaky valve, but that happens in your time.
What the heck?
Yeah, but I ain't going nowhere.
Oh my God.
He's like, you get a little backed up, what I'm saying? So,
oh no.
Yeah, that did concern me, and the EKG concerned me because a couple of the waves on the EKG were upside down, and I was like, well, that can't be a good sign. It's like, nah, still, nothing crazy, T-wave upside down. So immediately, because I was scared to death, and, my blood pressure was up and everything, I immediately ran to Dick's Sporting Goods store. Because I was like, I got to work out. You know what I'm saying? We got to fix this situation. I'm going to fix it. Lady said, you always say you got to fix it. I was like, I got to fix this, right? So I ran to Dick's Sporting Goods store. And I brought, some workout clothes. I got, some Nike stuff. Because I wanted to look stylish when I work out. You know
got
what I'm
like
saying?
the bicycle pants?
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. Too fat for that. But it was a thought, and I was like, nah. But then, as I'm walking through to go and pick up my training sneakers, right, I see this bike. And I'm like, yo, I want that bike, right? It's got these big, thick tires. I'm going to try to put a picture of it. It's a Mongoose Malice, right? And it's got these big motorcycle tires on it, and it really looks very aggressive. So the guy's like, well, it's not as expensive as you think it is. I said, well, how much is it? He says, let me look it up. $350. I was like, bang, give me the bike. Oh. I was like, I want that bike right now. So I immediately brought the bike, right? The Mongoose, And people in the store that worked in the store, they were like, oh, man, I was scheming on that bike. I wanted to buy that bike.
Yeah, right.
I was like, snooze, you lose, chump.
That's it.
So, I taunted them a little bit, right? Then we roll it out to the car, and we realize that the bike does not fit in the trunk.
Oh.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. So I'm there with Rocky, right? So I was like, now I'm like, I want to flip a coin, right? Because now the bike either has to be left in the store with all those vultures, or you ride it home. Now, we were like 8 miles away from my house.
That's what's up.
Right?
The first test.
Yeah, I said, you know what? Man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I changed into my workout clothes immediately, right? I put on my outfit, right? So I want to look stylish on the bike. And I start riding the bike home. And you know what you don't realize, right? That when you drive, a lot of times you ride up hills, but you don't realize they're hills.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was determined that I was going to ride this thing 8 miles home, and I was like, I'm not going to get off the bike. I'm not going to walk the bike. I'm going to ride it the whole time. And I actually rode the bike 8 miles home.
That's
you know what I'm
give
saying?
yourself some claps.
Yeah, I did that. I did that.
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so because I'm not a workout junkie like that, I'm not the running on the treadmill kind of guy. I brought the bike. You know what I'm saying? So the next day, I actually rode the bike to work. I left the car parked. I left. Nat Turner stayed home, and I rode the bike to do the CPR classes.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And then Robin was like, well, Rocco, I'm a little concerned about you. I said, yeah, that's okay. Right? And she's like, man, you got to get you some Cokie 12 and
CoQ10.
CoQ10 for your blood pressure. And you definitely need some, vitamin D, and you might want to get a B12. So I rode the bike from the studio to the health food store, got the Cokie 12. What is it? CoQ10, right? Yeah. And the other vitamins she suggested, and I got a nice tuna. And you know what? I feel great.
That's so good.
I feel great. You know what I'm saying? Like, the blood pressure's down. I don't feel foggy. I was having some issues with my left side. I was feeling a little weak on the left side most of the time. Everything feels balanced, and I feel really healthy. So
that's great.
That's what I'm doing, y'all. That's what I'm doing. Marianne Dunn is like, oh, no, Rock. I'm like, nah, listen, baby, I ain't going nowhere. Let me tell you, man, I'm going to be here for a long time.
You'll be sitting right in that seat.
Yeah, the idea is, to my older people in the house, and I know we have an older demographic, the idea is once you realize that you've reached the beginning, technically, of when things can really go bad and you can end up in surgery, heart surgery, and all those things, you might want to just adjust your entire lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because that's your warning shot over the bow, really. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I was blessed to actually go, and my friend is my doctor is my friend. Like, we hang out, Okay. And he did all the blood work, did the whole workup. So I got to go get a colonoscopy that I'm not really that happy about. And
you have to.
Yeah, and then I see the cardiologist on Tuesday. Just to get everything firmed up, but. I know this is about the workout now, and moving the blood. Blood that sits, a body that sits still dies. You know what I'm saying? What made the move. So that was my week. Robin, what's up with you, mama?
Not as exciting as yours, I'll tell you that. You know what? Speaking of which, sitting down, working from home, I do also notice that I'm not, exercising as much as I should. So this is a great time to go to the gym. I mean, honestly, run outside, walk outside, just do something to keep that
Don't worry about it. Chilling out.
right.
Yeah, there you go.
No, just something to move around because
Yeah.
sitting down all day is not the jam.
Right. You want to get your blood moving.
Not the jam. Not
Yeah,
the
that's
jam.
it.
But otherwise, some therapy sessions with, my cousin this week. Anytime someone calls me from my family, it's a therapy session.
Oh.
I'm like, what's her name? Anlanza? Anyana Van Zant?
Oh, you like the therapist?
Yeah, I'm like, you need to establish boundaries. Boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, just say it doesn't
Yeah.
work for me. And
Right.
after
Yeah.
2-3 hours, they're like, thanks. I'm like, yeah, but it's 1:00 in the morning now. I gotta go to bed.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your charge.
I'm not a good therapist.
No, but wait a minute.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
the thing is, she's paying someone. She's going to therapy.
Oh.
She's been in therapy for like 4 years.
Wow.
And she's like, oh my God, I gotta write this down. I'm like, isn't your therapist going through this shit with you?
Right. Well, like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're paying this person, but you know what? I think I
Should
miss my
request 10%.
I miss my calling.
Yeah. You ain't getting paid for it?
Right.
And you up till 1:00 in the morning?
Nah.
Nah, man. You're being beat.
Yeah.
You are being beat.
Yeah. No, it's family. It's family. I can't.
Right.
Nah, get up off that bread entertainment. That's all I'm saying.
That's what's up. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Renee says they say sitting down is a new smoking.
Yes.
Health
It's
wise.
bad for
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Michelle Marie says, I've been on bed rest since my last injury, and I tell you, I hate not being able to get up
Yeah.
and move. Yeah, I was really afraid of that also. That, because I was having swelling in my leg and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And which was impeding my walking, and I was like, well, if you can't, how could you ride a bike how could you do anything like that? You know what I'm saying? So the first day I actually rode the bike, I fought through the pain, on top of it all. So that was a deal. I was a therapist. Wow. Gary, facts. What's going on with you, brother?
My week is good, bro. On this whole health thing, I mean, I drink. I got a case of essential water home, so I've been drinking that for a long time. But also too, see that? See that? Yeah.
Cut the check.
Exactly.
That's
also
it.
too, I stretch every day.
Okay.
Like I make sure I stretch every day because things can tighten up on you.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, and we're at the age.
I thought you were stretching for other reasons, Gary. But
Don't you stretch before sex?
You must.
You're always supposed to stretch.
Because that hamstring would.
You're always
I'm
supposed to
telling you,
stretch, especially at our age.
I'm gonna try it.
That hamstring would betray you.
Cause I caught a cramp, man. It's a bad one too.
You
Like mid-stroke.
You'll see that.
Like,
And that's where you get a lot of life decisions. Do I stroke through the broken leg? Do I risk the leg? Because technically, if that leg is cramped, you're still on 2 legs.
right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
One is like a tripod.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, do I stroke through it? Sometimes
wow, that hurts.
But sometimes the body says, listen, you must stop.
Yeah.
Stop the strokes
Wow.
and rest.
Well, I mean, I did what I had to do.
there you go.
I mean, I played it off. I act like I was coming.
Oh my God.
Yes, that's what you do.
It's good to you, baby.
Oh, baby,
It's good to be
good. It's so good. And then get on top.
Yeah.
While you get to rest the leg. You
Right.
get to rest the leg while she's on top.
Right, you can stretch it out. What's your week? How's Bobby T doing?
He's doing good. I mean, we're trying to get him over here, but this whole they got a whole lockdown thing happening over in Australia, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, they're back.
Yeah, it's out of control.
What happened? COVID popped off?
COVID, apparently, according now, Mandy, who's always in the chat, who's Baba T's mother, she's on top of what's going on there. And she's like, the government, I guess, they just got it backwards there in terms of some of the cases, because apparently with the low cases that they got, they feel the need to kind of shut down everything.
Okay.
So, and then people don't want to get the vaccine.
Oh.
But see, here's the thing. Over there, I think they got the AstraZeneca.
Right.
Like they didn't pass the AstraZeneca here, cause
Right, that's just a European joint.
yeah, so it's a little crazy. But I wanted to give a shout out to Ty Dre.
Okay.
Ty Dre, he co-hosts our Hip Hop Boulevard, the Conversation podcast on Sundays. He just did an interview Wednesday with IAS Live Music Review, which is our sister show.
Yeah, Jolie and them.
Yeah. His record, Goat Mode, was in the Source magazine.
Was it?
Amazing,
So
amazing.
they did an article.
Hey, Ellie, where you at? Ellie, like she on vacation. She on vacation. She dropping in. Where you at?
Ellie in Canada.
Karen Brewer. What's up, Karen Brewer?
Canada.
She says people are dropping from AstraZeneca blood clots.
See, I told you.
Oh,
I told you.
wow.
That AstraZeneca, back was it early last year, they was trying to get it passed here, and I guess the FDA wasn't because there were trials, and the results that were coming back in the trials was all crazy. So then I guess they shipped it over to Europe.
Oh, what the hell?
So you guys deal with that.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
I can't deal with that. I cannot deal with that.
I'm eating my salad.
How is your salad? I mean,
It's
how
just
is
wonderful. It's got salmon in it.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Salmon salad. Okay.
Not being healthy, man.
You gotta be heart healthy. You know, a wise man once told me that there's a reason why when we men get a certain age that our penis don't work.
It doesn't?
Yeah, because if our penis still worked like really like as our youngest age,
Yeah.
and well into our 70s, 80s, 90s,
It doesn't work after that?
it has some problems. I don't know. When I get there, I'll let you know.
Oh, God.
Well, my
What's the age?
Around 70s, 80s, penis don't matter no more. You know what I'm saying? With the human body. I hear it goes
I was
down.
trying to be a sugar baby out here.
Listen,
you mean
listen,
I can't be
listen.
a sugar
Well,
baby?
guess who's going to check out at 69? I don't want to live, man, if my joint don't work.
Well, the wise man once said, the reason why penis go down at that age is because if our penis still stay hard, we would neglect our heart.
well,
Well, I want to hate my heart.
my
sorry.
granddad was 75 and still putting it down. So
So wait a minute, isn't that how Viagra got started too? It was supposed to be a heart medication
blood
at first,
pressure
right?
medication.
I think it's blood pressure. I think
Yeah.
blood pressure.
Oh, so you mean I can take Viagra for my blood pressure?
Yeah, you probably
Yeah, it has some hard side effects.
Yeah, your heart.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some benefits from the side effects.
No, wouldn't it affect your heart though?
It's blood pressure medication.
No, I don't know.
It's cardiovascular medication, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So Viagra, by definition, should be heart healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be over the counter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
I just want to know about it. What's up, Jerry Rolls?
Tona Courtney on the check-in from California.
Oh, what's up, Tony? Hey, what's
All
up?
right.
That's right. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's up. So, I don't know if you guys saw this, right? But Robin, Robin's a troublemaker, right?
I am.
Always.
She sends
Put it on Robin.
in our chat, right? Because we have a group chat that we all talk during the week just to kind of figure out what we're gonna do for the show. And she goes, she puts the new Lil Nas X video. She says, I haven't seen it yet, but I want you guys to watch this video. So, all right, let me see what's going on, because I know he's a pretty kooky guy, and he's very just put your headphones on. He's very adamant and aggressive about his sexuality. It's no secret that he's gay, and he super exhibits that in this video. Right now, I don't know if y'all seen the Nas X video, y'all, but it's really crazy, right? I mean, it's basically this escape from Alcatraz kind of vibe, right? Because they're in a prison, right? Now, and everyone has on pink prison jumpsuits, right? So, all right, so cool. I'm looking, I'm like, boom, right? And then, and they're doing some things that are, provocative.
They twerking that bunkie.
Right.
What's the name of the video? What's the name of the video?
Industry Boy.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
They twerking that bunkie.
So I was like, you know what? I don't appreciate the twerking bookie, but I want to continue down the line, right?
They slapping them penises up there.
Well, okay, that's what happened. That's when it got a little hard for me, and I'm not saying me. It got hard to watch, right? Because now they're doing the shower scene, right?
Yeah, they slapping penis
And
in there.
they are all naked in the shower, choreographed with this choreographed dance thing, but they blur out their penises. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, this is way too much. Now, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it was too much for me, right? But if you were to close your eyes, the record is actually dope.
Absolutely.
The record's dope, but
Yeah.
man, Robin, what was up with that video, bro?
Well, I just watched it just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
I wanted to see some penises flapping.
But
you know what I'm saying?
what made you put that? What made you even send that? Huh?
All right, so I was watching a podcast earlier, because I listen to podcasts while working, and there's this podcast where the girl was going off. She's like, "This is terrible to the black community. This is an abomination to the black family." And I'm like she talking about Little Nas X, and I said, "I've got to send this." I was like, you know what? I was like, if she's riled up like this, I'm gonna send the link and I'll watch it later. And that's exactly what happened. So now that we've all seen it, what are your thoughts, Jeff?
Yeah, let's go to Jeff on this one. Because Jeff is like a liberal. Go ahead. I'm a Republican on this one. We're going to go to the liberal side of the table.
All right, well, I love the video. You know what I'm saying? I love the video because I am naturally have a defiant blood with me. And I like the video because it's going to get people upset. It's going to get people riled up. It's going to go to the top. First of all, without the visuals, it's a beautiful song, right? It's a cool song. It slaps. It has good beats. It's going to go to the top. I see it being number one, right? But the fact that this guy is being attacked on his sexuality in 2021, where everybody's talking about being all-inclusive, everybody's talking about you want to be equal and all lives matter, but then you want to attack this kid. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. People who attack people for their differences I feel are very uncomfortable in their own skin. So I'm all for pissing those people off. So if you don't want to see black gay people, you know what I'm saying, swinging their dicks, if you don't like it, if you're against gay people, you're going to get these penises, right? You're going to get these penises in your face. It's going to be swinging.
Renee says keep it in the closet. I'm just saying.
I mean, hey, why keep it in the closet? Where everybody has a closet, right? Heterosexual or not.
No. You know what? I think because inherently, we know about the term called buck breaking.
Right.
Where, back in the past,
right.
During slavery, men were raped by their masters.
Right.
You can go closer. Don't worry.
Okay.
And it was Gary.
And now we talk about now there's like undercover gay rappers, they live their lives. They don't bring it out in their songs. Okay, whatever. But I think the optics of it, we talk about men refusing to get along with the Hollywood game because they wouldn't wear a dress. It would seem as though it's always the black male that they're pushing out to people with these images of effeminity.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So it upsets a lot of people. And for me, I'm all for creativity.
Right.
But on its premise, the optics are wild to me because I'm like, a white person could have done this, a Spanish person could have done this, but why the black guy?
Well, let me just say, I think that about 20 years, not even 20 years ago.
Does nobody like talking into the mic?
Maybe about 30 years ago.
All right.
About 30 years ago, there was a woman by the name of Dr. Frances Cress.
I heard about this.
You know about her?
Welsing.
Yeah.
Frances Cress Welsing.
She did a speech on the feminization of black men, and a lot of what she's saying is very prophetic.
Yeah. There's also a professor who is, I believe, Fordham University, who I forgot his name. I got to think of it, but he talks about the same thing. So it's like 40 years in the making.
Yeah, it's and see, with Little Nas X in his video, from a hip hop point, like hip hop is very manly, right?
Yeah.
That's what we came out as. I mean, that's
hyper masculinity.
Hyper masculinity, right?
Yeah.
Even when they went to the other genres of hip hop, like an Arrested Development, it was still manly.
Right.
Now with someone like a Little Nas X going out there like that, it's it's upsetting a lot of people.
I want to read a definition of something that I think is important to discuss, and I'm going to pull it up right now. It was a talking point that I thought was important to bring up. The term is called social conditioning.
So,
Okay.
And this is what we're looking at now, folks. Even though, what is this? Is this Gen Z?
Uh,
I don't know what stage of the ages are, but this is basically a discourse where you have people moving the needle for other people to abide by, you know, but you don't introduce it. You introduce it slowly,
gradually, right?
You know, it seems that now everything is sped up,
Right.
so it's shocking, but it doesn't mean it wasn't there in the first place.
Right.
Absolutely.
So there were mechanisms in place that were there already. What was the term I said again?
I don't know, but it was a good one.
So social conditioning.
Right.
There's a facility in London called the Tavistock Institute, and they deal with what Robin's saying. They have something called social engineering. Every major corporation is a client.
Yes.
So
Okay.
the buying behavior that we have when it comes to TV, your clothes, your phone, all came out the Tavistock Institute. What we do, what we surf online, Google, Yahoo. If you look up the Tavistock Institute on Google or YouTube and you see what they do, you'll see that this isn't something that just happened yesterday.
Right.
Like this was decades in the making, where they're literally socially engineering you in terms of not only buying products, but also behavior.
Right.
You know, across the board. It's kind of quite shocking.
I was watching a podcast called Earn Your Leisure. It's a financial,
Yes, I know. I've watched that. Yes.
Right, and then they had this old basketball player on there, and he was talking about how the NBA has changed, the game has changed, and how it used to be a manly game. You know what I'm saying? Like people, like the fouls and stuff like that.
Yeah, flagrant fouls.
Right, the flagrant fouls used to be just regular, basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. Now you can't even touch another player. You can't even injure another player. You can't even push another player to the side because each player is now considered a Fortune 500, company. And why the culture of basketball has changed is because they wanted to market it to China.
I know.
And China happens to be our biggest market. So
Yep.
because we want to cater to this market, we effectively, redesign how the game is played, So kind of takes the fun out of it. Everybody's considered an asset. So it's just protect the asset while trying to just put these balls in basket, which is what, we're here to be entertained about. So, and to piggyback off what you're saying, this social redesign that's going on, that's years in the making. It's the perfect science, because if you have a child and you want to expose the child to a lot of food, right? You don't want them to develop any allergies, so you start feeding them these little things to get the body to get used to it, right? So eventually, as you get older, you're immune to certain common allergies. So it's the same thing that's happening systematically here, and tethered to what you're saying in regards to the agenda of pushing this femininity on black males, that is a good perspective, because I myself, I like freedom of expression and stuff like that. I haven't really paid attention to the argument of pushing femininity through, the black, community. I understand why it was being used, because our genre of music is the most polarizing around the world, is the most effective around the world, and is the most infecting around the world. So if you plug it through that way, it's easier for you to widespread the acceptance.
Well, they don't call it broadcast for nothing. Broadcast means to actually.
Broadcast.
Well, I mean, broadcasting was a tool used by the government, right? To spread propaganda.
That's right. Absolutely.
And it was the coin, I believe, was termed. Wasn't it during Hitler?
Yep. Yes, that's
Hitler's
right.
time?
Yes.
So I mean, when you take images, you take a message, and you spread it. You can spread it all around the world within minutes.
Absolutely.
And then you keep getting these images, you keep getting them, and what do you think is going to happen? Little Nas X is going to happen.
I mean, Renee Mickens, she says it's okay to be gay.
It's
but
definitely
where
okay.
is the moral compass?
That's
and
right.
kids are watching.
Right.
And then she's responding to something Robin said. Yes, why the black man? Why do we always do that? And Cynthia Tibbs says, Generation Z is from 97 to 2015. which is the generation that is being affected.
Okay.
You know, and I think that they're you know, listen, homosexuality is not new, right? But and sexuality unto itself is not new, right? So what I'm saying is, all those guys in Hollywood that were gay and that were homosexuals, like Cary Grant and those guys, you know, they still looked like men, they dressed like men, and what they did in the bed was what they did in the bed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just, you know, blah across the screen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of, you know, as entertainers and as an artist, yes, if you want to speak about your sexuality, I have no problem with that. But I think when you put it into your art and it's being consumed by children, because kids are watching
That's
this,
right.
that's you kind of pushing an agenda. And then, I'm off the top of my head, I cannot think of any white artists that are doing that. I can't think of any Spanish artists that are doing that. You know, I just can't. So it makes you feel like there's this hidden agenda about that.
Let me just
Yeah.
interject for a second, because Lil Nas X is not an independent artist. Let's put it that way.
Right, straight up, right.
He's got a team of
Sony.
people
Yeah, he's on Sony.
behind him. Someone is cutting those checks.
Sony.
Okay, they're actually what do they call it? A treatment.
Mm-hmm.
They sit down and do a whole treatment about how he's going to do this, how he's going to do that, because at the bottom line is the company's going to make money.
Yeah.
Right.
So they get to greenlight all of this stuff before we even get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
They probably seen it a month ago.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell, they shot it.
Right. So this is the problem that I'm having. It's not about just Lil Nas X. He is only the physical representation of what is the corporations are pushing on us.
But I think like there's a system, if you will, especially in the entertainment business, that's been put in. Because I mean, even from back in the days with like artists like Flip Wilson. Like, look, back from Flip Wilson, he had to dress up like a woman, you know, and he went up, to Eddie Murphy and Tyler Perry. He was calling names. And apparently somebody at Viacom wanted him to do this. He was doing a movie or what have you. He was like, no, get the fuck out my trailer. Get out my trailer. So they bring somebody else to come in. You know, they try to get somebody else.
Right, because they want to wear a
He
dress.
was like, yo, I'm not wearing no dress. He's like, get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
Right? So, you know, apparently when it comes to, I guess, black men,
Yep.
your rite of passage to be big in Hollywood has to
That
be,
sounds more like a what do you call it?
I'm
A
just
cult.
saying, right.
That's like a what do you call that?
Because
Like you got to take an oath.
you
know what
all
I'm
your
saying?
major comedians, I don't think Richard Pryor did it, but all the others who got big, you know, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy,
Tyler
you know,
Perry.
Tyler Perry,
Sure, yeah.
you know, and
But
Tyler
he did that on his own though.
But
He
still.
was independent.
Yeah, but
before
Yeah, that was his character.
Yes, but the image that's sending out there. So, and I
Right.
think it fits into this whole system of pushing that narrative of the feminization.
Well, okay. Let me give you some perspective. A couple years back, when I used to read books, right? One of the books that I read talked about the history of comedy.
Okay.
I don't know if I have to remember the name of it, but in comedy, as far as art was concerned, like in Europe,
Yeah.
you know, Shakespearean and most of those dudes that were performing were playing women's parts. Women were not allowed
Right.
to even participate in the arts in that way. So anytime they did a play, it would be all men wearing lipstick, wearing dresses.
Dressed up.
Right. However, when you extrapolate that particular history up until now, there only seems to be one race that represents that type of, you know, art. And I want to know why. I want to know why. And I want to know what the real agenda is, because right now, as you know, we're really having a hard time now even dealing with social, you know, cues. We're dealing with the pandemic. We're dealing with death. We're dealing with, you know, men and women relationships,
Right.
raising children.
Right.
And also, what you know, the what is that, Gen Z right now?
Yeah.
these are our grandkids, really, kids and grandkids.
Right.
Sure.
What did we do? Because I'm always thinking inwardly.
Right.
Did we do something in our generation that facilitated this? What is going on?
I'm gonna say no to that. Like we didn't do anything.
Like, did I take that prenatal tablet when I was pregnant with my daughter?
Yeah.
Like, is there something in those tablets they give you when you're pregnant?
Nah, I
Those
think
vitamins?
I think what happened is once it became once there was the media assault, right? Because it's actually a media assault, really, and and we as parents and grandparents, we put our kids in front of the television, right, or now the computer, and they're watching these shows. There's always these little hints, right, of this sexuality, right, in those shows. The Teletubby, right? They had to have a little gay Teletubby. They had to, to try to promote this acceptance, right? And their perspective is let's promote this the mask is let's promote this acceptance because of what went on for centuries where homosexuals were forced into the closet because if they came out, they got beaten, they got abused, all of that happened. So I think the media itself, and you got to understand something, every show has a gay character now. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, I was watching a show about space, and then there was a gay guy in space. Like, I'm like, okay, but, this is about space. Why is this about the gay guy in space?
It's about inclusion, guys.
Right, and he was all androgynous, and then at first he wasn't sure.
No, that's not true.
And then he just moved into it.
No, remember Lost in Space?
Yeah.
What was that guy?
Dr. Smith.
No, what's the other one that hated him? He was like, oh, he was so gay.
Oh, wait, which guy?
He was the skinny one, the hater one. He was in Lost in Space. Will, danger.
Well, that was the robot.
No, but was he the professor? He always wore like the tight sweater. And
Yeah, you talking about Dr. Smith?
That's him?
Yeah,
yeah.
He was like, he was sort of he was kind of the feminine guy, right? Because you had
that was way back in the 60s.
What's his name? Robinson, right? What was
Will Robinson.
Right, Will Robinson was the kid, right? And then the husband's name I think was John, right? It was a rough name,
right?
And then they had the co-pilot, right? And he was rough, right? And then you had the two broads, right? That was on the show, and then you had soft Dr. Smith, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, I guess,
yeah.
And that's a little bit, right? Isn't that a little bit?
Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been doing it for a while.
But now,
see, this is how subtle it is, though.
I like that because I never thought that Dr. Smith was gay until you said that.
You see how subtle that is? You have been socially conditioned.
I didn't know. Now I think back, Dr. Smith was soft.
Like, yeah, he was gay.
He didn't do any manly stuff.
No, he was always afraid.
Right.
Yeah.
Dr. Smith was gay.
Yes, of course he was.
I didn't know.
I swear, when I was a kid, I was like,
something suspect.
Yeah, he ain't manly like the rest of us.
I mean, do you think it was like him and the robot? Like, what was happening?
No, but I noticed that he hated the kid. He hated the kid. That's why I was like,
yeah,
okay.
he did. He hated the little boy.
Mm-hmm. He didn't really hate him. He didn't really hate him.
Yeah, he probably didn't. He's like,
yeah. Anyway, let's keep going.
It was sort of reversed, right? Michelle Marie said, I had to go look at the video, and she started laughing. So Karen Brewer says, true.
Bunkies?
Yeah, true. Now, for a woman, the video is tantalizing, or could be, I guess, but, Well,
it ain't for us, but it's good to look at.
Right. Yeah, right. Not me. True, years ago, you didn't know who was gay. So, I want to talk about something new that you guys were talking about, but I'm going to try to play this commercial again
I want to play
because apparently prostitution is becoming legal in New York City.
Hey!
So I really want to get into
another form of income.
I wanted to actually address what Robin said real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
In regards to what your question saying, what did you do? What did the previous
I want to
generation
know.
do? You guys didn't do anything. What you guys did was this is the internet.
True.
Because
the Wild West,
the other generations, the parents filtered what the children were exposed to,
right. And you only had like 7 channels.
Right, they told you when to watch TV, which books to watch, and stuff like that. But now the information is in the palm of your hands.
Yeah.
So our responsibility now is not to. We can't stop the exposure. We just have to help the generation mentally prioritize what the exposure is and to understand what they're looking at.
I know.
Right.
This is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I had a thing, right? I went to go visit my grandson in North Carolina, and I'm trying to remember who it was, but somebody attempted to put orange toenail polish on his toes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Right, yeah. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to paint his toes. I was like, no, you're not.
Right.
I was like, you're not painting his toes. Why? It's okay to. I said, that's not okay.
Who said this?
Well, my daughter was very liberal about it, right? And I was just like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why would you do that? Why are you even introducing him to that? If he becomes that, you know what I'm saying, then that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Hugs and kisses to you, still love you, you're my grandson.
Right.
But for you to,
Feminize him.
to feminize him. I'm like, why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's not cool. Give that dude a truck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give him a rock'em sock'em robot or something.
Right.
And if he doesn't dig that and he swings into the into the gay lifestyle, then that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But come on, you gotta
let them
3.
be right. You
Right.
gotta let them be if they want to be the way they're going to end up being after, 16 or whatever. I don't know, but respect that. But until then, you don't push the kid
I
to.
totally agree with you.
Yeah, come on, you gotta knock that off, man.
That's just my thing.
Right.
Then
No.
that's just me.
I'm gonna try to go to this commercial now. Let me try it again. See if I got
Do
sound.
it, man.
Is it? Yes, I do.
I should have bought some drinks.
It's in the Westwood, Rough Riders, West Side. It's in the Westwood, Rough Riders, West Side.
Big shout out to my man Lazy Lays who does the Raw Perspective.
Yeah.
Lays.
That's a project that he's been working on, and he involved me in that project. So just explain what you guys are seeing. That is what's going on. Is Talos Media is a company that Lay started, and it is we're building studios, media rooms in schools in New York City public schools. What you saw there was the renderings of a school that we're doing out in Jersey,
Nice.
Called West Side High. Big shout out to the principal, Akbar Cook,
Yes.
who has been on Ellen and Oprah and all these shows because of his innovative educational ideas. that he
Nice.
does. They have a laundromat in that school.
What?
They have a Capital One bank that the
Nice.
kids actually run in that school.
Excellent.
So now they're taking that to the next level, building music production stations with programs like Pro Tools in it and
I
Fruity
love it.
Loops and all that, so the kids can learn how to produce music. They're putting a podcast station in
That's
there,
great.
like the one that we're sitting in, four microphones, the
Yeah.
whole thing, the cameras. They're putting a live room and a recording room. So the live room's going to have, like, if they would have a drummer come in and drum live to the recordings. I mean, this thing is a huge project.
Wow,
huge
that's beautiful.
Big shout out to Principal Farrington out of Research in Brooklyn. Her room is almost complete, actually. And we did that, and we did some innovative things that the Board of Education hadn't seen before. Like, for instance, a lot of times when you go into the Board of Education, you'll see when they have a computer room, the outlets will be on the floor,
Yeah.
above the floor.
That's right.
Well, what Talos Media did was they actually raised the floor and then put the outlet in the floor.
Got it.
So the outlet is now flush with the floor.
Nice.
And all these great ideas that are innovative to the Board of Education, but something that we've been exposed to because we've, built studios before. You know what I'm saying? So we saw a lot of stuff, but that's what you guys saw.
That's great. Give me
And
some claps.
That was a commercial.
Excellent.
So, in terms of educating the children and bringing legacy to the situation, well, we're bringing our musical expertise and giving that information to these kids, letting them know that you don't have to necessarily rap, right? You can be behind the scenes. You can be an
Exactly.
engineer.
That's right.
Big shout out to PS354, which is up in the Bronx. They actually have an entire television studio.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And the kids can do the roving reporter thing. They have a camera for that.
Nice.
You know, so a lot of big things and changes happening.
You know what else they
in New
need
York.
too?
Yeah.
Because when you deal with television production or engineering or you know anything that deals with entertainment, you know they have carpenters to make sets to build them.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You know,
You're right.
they're pivotal in setting a scene. They should introduce trades again.
You know,
And they make money. They make money.
oh my God, they make more money than actors most
Yeah,
of the
they
time.
do.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
You know,
yeah.
so what I want to ask about is, so what is the deal with prostitution becoming legal
Oh my
in
God.
New York City? I'm so
Woo.
into that.
Listen, Pennsylvania
All right,
Ave,
so okay, this is.
Cosine Ave.
Hunts Point.
I gotta get my W-2 out, my 1099s out here.
I'm saying things are going.
I gotta get it popping out here. Go to the gym, baby.
We are evolving.
They be like, "How old are you,
1099.
lady?" I'll be like, "I'm 23."
Come
I'm
get some of
ready.
this experience.
No, actually, I mean, Cuomo did, put an executive order to loosen, the laws for, I wouldn't call it prostitution. I'll call it prostitution. Prostitution.
Right. Prostitution.
Yeah. But I honestly think this is a sign of things to come, which is quite scary because at the same time, we have the moratoriums, the rent moratoriums ending.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of homeless people out there.
Yes, that's right.
There's going to be a lot of, people who can't go back to work or won't go back to work.
Right.
So
So he's creating jobs.
He's crazy.
I gotta tell you.
He's creating jobs.
If you
He's
ain't got your
creating
pimp
opportunities.
PhD, you better go get it.
You know, I mean, listen, I personally don't see anything wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? I think prostitution should have been legalized a long time ago. Matter of fact, I don't think it ever should have been criminalized. Tell you the truth, you know what I'm saying? What a woman wants to do is what a woman wants to do, and I think if the fact that they are legalizing it, they're going to put pimps out of business. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's going to become
It's
a
on
natural.
Instagram.
It's pimps are going out of business because now it's going to be a legal business. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're not-
OnlyFans is the new pimp now.
No, actually, they're removing most of the content from OnlyFans.
Oh, they are?
Yes, that's what I read it, but I got
okay.
allegedly.
I'm sorry. What is OnlyFans? I feel lost now.
It's a subscription-based.
I don't know what it is.
It's a subscription-based platform for where you can provide private entertainment for your
A
customers.
fee for $4.99.
For a fee. You
Yeah.
know,
For a
and
fee.
it could be increments in the.
It's like going to that window. Remember back in 42nd Street, you put your
Oh
quarter in?
Yeah, but
Well, OnlyFans is like that.
Yeah, but you see a lot of things. There's no hold bar. There's no
Really?
Yeah.
limitations to
So-
what you can provide for your viewers.
Is it like OnlyFans.com? Like what is it?
well,
What's it say?
And do they do it by
I
request?
have a page called Chocolate Daddy.
Do you? No. Do they do it by request though? Like if you go to OnlyFans,
So you can interact with them?
no. So you go on.
I think you could.
There are different tiers.
No.
If
No,
you pay
it's-
$5.99, you can only see videos. But no, if you pay $15.99,
Go ahead, Jeff. Tell us about this.
Go ahead, Jeff. Yes,
you get a special text. And if you pay the higher tiers, like $20, right, you can get like a one-on-one talk like per month. They send you a tailored message to you when they're about to start their video. Like, hey Jeff, hey Big Daddy, I'm about to start a show in 7 minutes. you know?
Right.
So do they give you a early peak show?
You get early content. You get certain pictures. You know what I'm saying?
But
like
why
that.
are you paying $20 to see something everybody's going to see for free?
I don't pay it. I know somebody that pays it, and I just see their phone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I like
You mean
that,
the
Jeff.
phone's not in your name? Is that what that is?
You got a burner? He's got a burner phone, OnlyFans phone.
Oh my God.
Some of these Instagram models, they have OnlyFans page. So when you go on their Instagram page, they all got a link
These guys are well versed.
to go.
I love it.
To go to OnlyFans, and they have a membership fee.
Uh-huh.
Some you could join for $4.99. all the way up until like, I don't know, $20, $30.
Okay.
So it's pretty
So,
interesting.
so Gary, you should get an OnlyFans page.
Yeah, nah, that's okay. I'm good.
Yes, let's get Gary an OnlyFans
And they have
page.
special events, like some certain special events are like $50. You know what I'm saying? Like the pay-per-view.
Oh,
So they have certain things you
I
pay.
like
for.
it.
But
So it's like a sport? Like,
But Robin,
what do you do then?
But Robin, in all seriousness, to what you were talking about earlier, I did see that OnlyFans, they're starting to get music people involved,
Yeah.
like recording artists
To do what?
to.
Do exclusive
Like
music.
behind the scenes,
yeah,
like
yeah.
studio stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Oh, so they're really
So-
doing something.
Yeah.
If somebody, so if you wanted to create your OnlyFans account and you wanted people to see Rock Logic in the studio doing
Yeah.
shows or
Yeah.
what have you, they'll pay to do that.
Oh,
It's
what?
the same thing as having a Patreon. It's like
Yeah.
having a
Patreon,
YouTube,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
is free, and have a
Yeah.
Patreon, which is a subscription base. So
Yeah, Patreon, yeah.
So if we have a butt naked show,
Right.
a butt naked real discussion.
We go OnlyFans.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Twerk them boonkies.
Right.
Twerk those boonkies.
Yeah, just all of us sitting naked around the table. Not doing it. Just
Oh
saying.
my God.
You got to draw the line. G Swag. Talk about OnlyFans, G Swag. But you got to do the G Swag thing. You got to put that. You got to put a hoodie on.
Gary
Come
with
on,
the
hold on.
hoodie.
I'm taking it off. Hold on a second.
Oh, you got your.
Mandy says, taking notes, OnlyFans. Check.
Oh wow!
So wait a minute. Let's just. Let's
Oh,
go.
there goes Lays.
There's Lays.
There goes Lays calling in about prostitution in New York City.
go.
I love
There we
it.
go.
I love it.
Hold on, let me kick him in. Hold on,
Hey,
right there.
Lays.
Lazy Lays.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Hey.
Welcome to the real discussion.
What's happening, Lays?
Oh, everything is good, man. I'm just chilling, man. I was trying to call him earlier, but I got in daddy mode. You know how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, we played the commercial. Everyone in the chat room, they loved it. They were like, wow, it's a really great ad.
We love it.
Lays, you still there? Did we lose Lays?
Shout out to my whole. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, shout out to the whole Talos crew. I mean, that's what we do, man. We build and we change things. You know, like we're working on new technology. We're talking about immersing education. If you look at that new Van Gogh experience, we're talking about doing classrooms like that. So, like, say if you were actually trying to be like in biology, well, we could do like you could be an atom or you could be a blood cell traveling through the body and stuff like that. And yeah, so we turning it up, man. Come on, that's the low hanging fruit, man. Watch how we go, man. The next couple of years is gonna be ridiculous. That's
Love
great.
it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Great.
So if you guys aren't familiar with the Van Gogh, they have a exhibit at by the South Street Seaport, and what they did is they took all these Van Gogh paintings and they digitized them, and you're fully immersed in the experience. So you see the Van Gogh moving, right? Yeah, the painting's actually moving, and you're in this room with screens all around you. You know what I'm saying? It's an hour show. You do 30 minutes on the ground, right? Level with everything, and then there's a like a balcony that there's another experience that happens. So
Wow.
everybody switches position. So
That's great.
yeah, so that's what Lays is talking about, which is incredible. For
And is that the
schools.
South Street Seaport?
Yeah, it's at the South Street
I'm
Seaport.
10 minutes away from there.
Well,
Yes.
you know,
I'll have to go check it out.
Look, what we're talking about, and which is dope, but we're talking about having learning experiences like that for kids, the digitized learning experiences,
Right,
which is something that we're creating. So that's like next level stuff that we're doing.
That's great.
And I got to tell you something. I got to shout out hip hop because hip hop gives us the creativity and the vision to take it to the next level. So I think that's the great thing about it, man. Rock and I, we go over. I mean, Rock sees it because I'm always trying to pull off something crazy, and Rock is like, "Well, all right, man, you're gonna pull this one off. Let's see how it goes."
Right. Right.
Classic rock for you.
You know what? He's like 10 for 10. You know what I'm saying? Like it works out. You know what I'm saying? So when he says he wants to do something, because you understand, like when you talk to a person as a visionary, right? You don't always see their vision.
That's true.
Right? So you gotta just go, you know what? All right, cool. Hey, do it. Like let's get it done. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when Lays goes and talks to me about these things, they sound like something that cannot be accomplished. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds impossible.
It sounds impossible, and Lazy the Guy is going to push it to make it possible and bring it into fruition.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what you need. A
that's what he does.
maverick.
So I'm always like, yeah.
They
all right,
call
let's see what
them
happens.
mavericks.
Well,
That's
yeah,
it.
we made it snow in the Apollo.
Well,
so
all I say is just follow me blindly, and it'll happen.
that is the rule of thumb, just go.
So what's going on with your show, Lays? I heard Maria Davis was on your show.
Well, this week was kind of extra, and now that we're turning into interview shows more so in the morning. So this week we had Maria Davis, we had Billy Dan from the world famous MOP, and then we also had Lil Fame. Separate days though, because I wanted a different perspective. Obviously, Fame is a different kind of artist, and then Billy is another entirely different kind of conversation separately, not together.
Okay.
And then we had the great principal from Liberation High School, April Leon, on my principal spotlight. And we've been really rocking with the interviews. So next week I'm gonna have some interviews, and I'd love to have Robin on.
Oh, I'd love to be on.
Man.
I'd love to be on.
I'd like to get in your mind.
Oh.
By the way, let me say one thing. Let me say one thing to you. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Lays. Hi, Lays.
And let me tell you something. We can have some real interesting conversation in the morning, because we have a lot of people that get up in the morning to go to work, and they tune in. Thanks to everybody that continue to tune into the morning emails. And I know it's early for some people, because now I'm starting at 5:15.
Wow.
Yeah.
You like
And I roll
Noriega.
into it though.
Yeah.
I roll into it now. So it's not even I don't start exactly at 6. The show starts at 6, but I roll into it like the Indy 500. I'm just rolling into it. So by 6 o'clock, we're heated up and ready to rock.
Oh, nice.
Robert, I wanted to talk to you about something.
Oh, yeah?
And this is something that Rock and I were talking about.
Oh, no, not again.
I want to talk. Wait, what happened? You guys talk about it already?
No, we didn't talk about it yet.
I thought it was
Okay,
about
okay.
that threesome y'all were talking about.
Oh no. Well, listen, Robert, if it's going to be Rock is not going to be involved.
I did look at his face to see. He's like,
I was like, what reason we talking about?
no, I'm just kidding.
Three is definitely not company. 3 is not company we're talking about.
Exactly.
Just playing. No, but go ahead. Tell me.
How do you feel about critical race theory?
Oh, I love this topic. I do.
And by the way, Rock, you owe me 50 cents because I knew that you would love the topic.
Yeah. We said that we were smoking cigars about 3 hours ago, and he goes, "Robin's gonna love this topic."
I do
He's gonna,
love
yeah,
this
he said
topic.
it immediately. Yeah.
I do. Honestly, though, critical race theory is important, but it's important for reasons that the public doesn't want it to hear about. So this is what I'm thinking, because critical race theory is like 40 years old, honestly. Someone wrote it.
Yeah.
Was it Frances Wells Crest?
Yes.
She wrote it like 40 years ago.
Yes.
And now I think because of the reparations talk while Biden was running for president, they used it as a smokescreen so that everybody could stop talking about the reparations and use critical race theory as something to make white people mad. Honestly.
Well, no. Well, you're right on one part of that. You're right, but let me just say this to you. Dr. Lester Young, the Regent Czar for schools in New York State, he actually got critical race theory approved as a curriculum in New York State. And what critical race theory does, it talks about the real history of the United States in context to how America was really, and it kind of was in line, but not actually, not the same as the Nicole Hannah Jones 1619 project, which was analyzing the United States in its real context, not the bougie faked out George Washington wooden teeth version. I never told a lie context that we talk about the United States in, but it actually talked about it in the reality base of what the United States really was.
Of course.
The flaws, that made the country great,
Yeah.
but it's still a great country. Right.
Now, but hold on. Now, we all know, let's just throw it out there, that the education that we have been taught as all Americans, but in particular Black Americans, have been taught to us from a European-based ideology.
That's right.
Okay? There will never be,
Right.
like, I think it goes through Texas, and then it goes throughout the United States. I forgot which foundation. There's a foundation, I don't know if it's the Heritage Foundation, but
Oh no.
Yes.
There's also one with
It
the, but wait, there's one with the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers, they have an organization, and I think like they're dealing with the Texas public schools, and they're literally trying to rewrite history.
well, the thing is that history was altered and doctored when when they put our children in there, when we were in there.
Yeah.
All of our lives we've been taught a certain dogma,
Yeah.
but it was never from the perspective of a real story. Anytime,
No, it wasn't.
It was always
anytime
one
you
right.
bring another train of philosophy, train of thought, a school of thought, a new school of thought, just like what I told you about social conditioning.
Right.
They don't want the social conditioning. They want to keep that status quo. Why do you think so?
Well, history is written by the victors first.
Right,
as
and
always.
it never changed in like the past 100 years. It's always the same stories, that we as our generation, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, the history books have never changed for kids. And now,
Well, they're fighting hard now. They're fighting hard now because what we're finding is that there are a lot of, especially historically Black universities and African American schools are starting to teach CRT, and they're fighting against it because they feel as if it's going to put America in a bad light to the next generation of children, white, Black, and brown, that are coming through. So that's what they want. They want to try to hide it. The only problem, here's the mistake that we're making, and I want to talk to all my brown people out there, African American people. What we have to do is stop looking at white people as a monolith. Remember, the population boom that came to the United States came in around the 1920s, 1918, through Ellis Island. The biggest portion of the country, the biggest population. So most of the white population in this country weren't around for slavery. But we seem to blanket them and make them a part of the slave condition. Now, yes, they got here and they just adapted the white policy of let's beat on as many Black people as we possibly can because it's cool. But at the end of the day, I think that we are missing who we should be pointing the arrow at. The arrow should be pointed at the Constitution and not just the
that is
blanket
correct.
of white America.
No, but no, wait.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But you got to remember, the devil is in the details, and not only is the devil in the details, the devil is in the distraction, too.
Right. Yes.
This is why I'm telling you, they are not giving us they're stripping away voting rights all over the United States. I think they're gonna disband Roe versus Wade. They're talking about doing that. They're whatever they're doing with the.
But does Roe versus Wade is that something for Black people, or is that something as a depopulation plot to help depopulate the country of Black people? Because the abortion conversation was really about depopulating Black people and not having as many babies as possible. As a matter of fact, the person who made the woman who made the first abortion clinic, they were conversations that she was, in all intents and purposes, a Nazi sympathizer.
That was a Planned Parenthood, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, Planned Parenthood.
It was a
That's
Planned
right.
Parenthood.
That's right.
Wasn't she from Brownsville?
Yeah, well, Brownsville was Jewish back then.
Right, exactly. Like, I think the actual first abortion clinic was in Brownsville, or the person that promoted
In New York City.
Yeah, in New York City, in Brownsville, actually in Brooklyn. Yeah.
In Brownsville, Brooklyn. Hey, more killing than Brownsville. Here you go.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's also a distraction too, to get conservatives riled up, not only to distract us from what's really going on and taking our voting rights away, but also to distract against the insurrection. I mean, it's everything. We weren't talking about this.
Yeah. But
We weren't
that's
talking
a
about
rewrite
this
of
last
history.
year. It was a whole
we
nother
were
thing.
not. No.
It's going to be a whole nother thing. This is going to be this conversation from 40 years ago that they're bringing up now, conveniently, is going to run to the next election cycle, and then you will never hear about it again.
Well, that's because they're trying to charge the white base, the base of whites, so they can turn out, because they know that if you put any obstacle in front of black people, it's very likely that half the black population will not turn out like they turned out to get rid of Trump.
Right.
But what I'm saying to you is, and this is something I need everybody, and I'm talking to all my brown people, my African American people out there, it is in our hands, the future of this country. Now, and when I say that in a way that you need to understand that the right to vote has been fought and died for by white Americans. They will send millions of their own to death to preserve the power of the vote. You understand that? They will storm their own capital to preserve their power to dictate the election. So in this case, I think we should take the same fervor and say that we will die for the right to vote if we're going to live in this country, or else we will not be in the room when they make the decision. The only way that we will be in the room is if we're willing to stand up, fight, and die for the right to vote in this country, because that is the power in this country.
Well,
the biggest power in this country is the vote.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, not only are you on point, but I think because of, we are discussing Lil Nas X and the effeminization of men.
Right.
Right. I'm thinking there's a correlation here. I think that in order to do that, you need more men, right, to stand and be moral and just and ready to die. That's what women don't have. That's what women don't have.
How do you destroy a population? You emasculate the men and rape the women. Mm-hmm. That's how you destroy a population.
Yeah, I think
and
that
because the men protect their women.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, who protects white women more than anyone in this country? White men protect. They live and die to protect white women.
Right.
Most black men would you would get killed for looking at a white woman.
Right.
That's why that Karen gene is in her blood. Because she's like, who the hell are you to look at me? As opposed to blasting your music in the Walmart.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to hit the chat room real set. Mary Lou Ortez, hello, everyone. She says hello. Anita Stone says amen. Michelle, hit the clap, clap, clap. Elsa Brito says hello, everyone. Mary Lou Ortiz says hola, Gary.
Hola.
Gladys Torres is tuned in. She says hello, everyone. And it's good to see you all. All right, I'm back.
There you go.
Hey, Lays.
Yeah.
Can I play your commercial again?
Go for it, Rocco.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, this is dope. Hold on.
I love it.
Because some people signed on. Hold on, this is hot. Look at this.
Wow. Beautiful.
Dame Dash Studios, powered by Lays Elliott. Cook Education Solutions. West Side High School, Newark, New Jersey. Those are the studios. Computer labs. Vocal booth for recording. Studio engineering room. Podcast station. It's beautiful stuff.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I sent you the wrong one.
Did you?
You know why?
Why?
Because the version that's out now is with Dame Dash's voice on it.
Ah, okay, right, because you had a voiceover.
Yeah, Dame Dash is on it, and let me tell you something. When we did this one, and I'll set it for you next week so you can play it again. So on your next show, you'll play it again, because I'll have another one for you. But let me
What happened?
It's funny when I tell you what happened. We were trying to sort of remake the model for Dame Dash. Let me tell you why. We felt that Dame was kind of floundering in his argument with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I felt now he may have been let's just say legally right in the argument, but the conversation was a moral conversation. So my conversation with Dame Dash was, why won't you
just focus on the kids. And my man, shout out to Dennis, and I feel comfortable in saying this. Dennis said to Damon, "Yo, man, these are adult problems. I believe that life is going to suit you better if you focus on children." Are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah. If you focus on children, because you're such an icon, why don't we put your energy into children? So what I did was this particular studio in Newark, New Jersey, shout out to my man Aqua Cook, West Side High, Newark, New Jersey. What I did was I wanted to show him in the light that I know him in, not the arguing, yelling Dame Dash, but the brilliant maverick Renaissance man that he is.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he got caught up in this nonsense about the NFC.
Right.
Which then kind of like what kind of killed the narrative a little bit, but I do believe Dame is a Renaissance man, and if we focus on those things that can help the community, I think hopefully we can pull him out of that vortex of the fight that he's in. And I think he's in a vortex. I think he's got to get out of that fight. I think the fight should be for the children.
Got you.
You ain't the only one with a roadcaster.
He just clapped himself.
He just clapped himself. Hold on, ladies. You want to roadcast the battle?
Yeah,
Okay. I heard you change over. I heard you change. I said, it sounds like he's on the road. He's on the roadcaster with the bumblebee mic.
Yeah. Right. Now you know I'm on the mic.
Yeah, I can hear it.
But let me say this though. The work we're doing is futuristic, and it's next level education, and it's intellectualizing our community. And I think there's such a force out there, and Robin can agree with this. There's such a force out there to unintellectualize the African American community to the point where we don't focus on the important things in our community. We focus on surface idiocy like versus battles and things of that nature.
Like
now
Kevin
those are
Samuels.
all fun.
Right.
I
like Kevin Samuels. I like him.
Yeah, he's a distraction.
Yeah.
He's a distraction.
Well, it's a separation because he's pointing out problems that black women are facing, and he's putting his opinions down on. But I think it's low hanging fruit. I think it's lowbrow stuff because obviously black women are having these problems or issues in their lives because of the detriment and the condition that our community is in. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is not in the vacuum. And I think Kevin Samuels points to the easiest, like he's just pointing to the simplest thing. He's not using any intellect in pointing to this conversation. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And I think we spend too much time taking the easy way out.
Right.
As intellectuals.
Yeah. I mean, because accountability.
We used to be right. We used to be smart. Like we used to lean towards intellectualizing our situation. Nowadays, we just look for the dumbest out we can find.
Right. We've been dumbed down,
and we're looking for validation too. Because a lot of people, when we're not, secure in our choices, we look for outside validation to, push the needle to what would satisfy our inner thoughts and our insecurities as well. So falling into that, space will cause us to misprioritize what we need to do for our future and for ourselves in that regard.
Well, the thing is, when you are not concerned with results, you talk action. Like we always want to take action, but you can take action on a treadmill. Mm-hmm. I don't think we plan our actions.
Right.
Like we don't put plans together. If we don't put pragmatic, solid plans in our community, then guess what happens? We're out there marching again.
And you know what?
And now, it's crazy.
Go ahead. No, I'm just saying. And you know what? Over time, we've asked for things, right? Like we're asking Daddy for permission to ride it on his bus, to go in his diner, and everything revolves around.
I preach that every day, Robin.
Yeah,
I say that, Robin.
Yeah, every aspect of our lives is us asking for validation from someone else. You understand what I'm saying?
Daddy.
Right.
You see me now, Daddy? You see me now?
Right.
The Oscars and all that stuff.
I mean, I just remember it was so crazy. I was talking to Lades, right? And we were talking about Black Lives Matter, right? And he's like, what is that? Like, Why do we have to remind them that Black lives matter, right? Or like it does matter. You know what I'm saying? Like in other words, okay, Black lives matter, and then white people go, word? It does? Okay, we're gonna stop beating you now. Like,
No,
you know, like
that doesn't happen.
You know what? Right? And could you please stop beating me? Like I was arguing with a guy.
Right.
I was arguing with a guy about about slavery. And the guy goes, "Well, didn't they atone for slavery by freeing the slaves?" I said, "Hell no." I said, "Why don't I take your daughter, lock her up in a basement for 30 years, and by decree let her go, and then tell me did I atone for locking her up and making her work for 30 years for free?" No, you can't do that. That's not atoning for slavery. What that is you stopped it, but now you have to right the wrong. You have to correct it. And you have to hold people accountable. If you don't hold people accountable for wrongs in society, they will always do them to you. And they will continue to push the line back. That's what I'm saying. So we got to hold people accountable.
I got a perfect example of how dominating this is. Jeff, you are from, your family's from Haiti, right?
Yes, yes.
So I read that when the slaves conquered when they fought
revolt.
the revolt.
Yeah.
And
The revolt, yeah,
they kicked out all the
Haiti.
French. The French then turned around and said, "You owe us
Money.
lost money for losing our property and our slaves," and
They still paying them. They got reparations.
they had to pay France like $100-something billion. Yes, they were in debt to France for years.
Yeah.
Because they
for freeing themselves?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It cost them.
The French are motherfuckers. By the way, I'm letting you know right now.
So
Do you know that France takes France? Let me tell you something. You know that France takes 85% of the GDP from Senegal, gives them back 15%. So all the money comes out of Senegal. They take the money and give them back 15% to run the country on, while they take the bulk of the Senegalese. And they do that for other countries in Africa. The French are motherfuckers. All that liberté shit is bullshit.
no, but this is the premise of what white supremacy is. They're saying
That is deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
they will
yeah,
not
yeah.
let you walk. You for your own freedom.
Yeah.
They say you owe me.
Blood fire.
Well,
So-
they write the rule book. They write the rule book and then they penalize you for not following the rules.
Right.
I'm saying that we need to write our own narrative.
You know,
And the way you do it is, my new word is, get the bag.
Right.
Get the bag. Get the bag.
Some people should not have a Rodecaster
he's
Pro.
on his.
No, but I want to add
broadcast battle.
one last thing though. Black
go ahead.
people are not. We are the most forgiving. We are, and it's
Yeah, we
to
are.
our detriment only because when it's time for elections, we go, oh, we demand Black Lives Matter. We need a Voting Rights Act. We need this and we need that. And they
Black
will.
people have Stockholm syndrome.
They will promise
Black people have
us
Stockholm
everything they
syndrome.
can
That's
as
what it is.
long as we get those bodies to those polls, right?
Yeah.
And we could get to the polls, and they're making it hard for us to even do that.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
but
isn't
that's
there
the game, too.
a compromise? I didn't know about absentee ballots until like 5 years
No
ago.
one did.
Yeah, I
Right?
never heard of it.
So now it's like, I think isn't there like, it's not a balance, but I mean, they're introducing other ways to vote. I do definitely know this is voter suppression, definitely. But anything worth having, worth holding is not easily obtained and is worth fighting for. And I think now it's like, if we're as Black and brown people complacent on the voting process, now that's a little harder. Hopefully we don't get really discouraged. Hopefully we get encouraged. And you said, sir, that Black people voted Trump out. I think Trump voted himself out first and foremost. And
I'm just giving you quantifiable data, and I think that's important. As African Americans, we have to lean on the data. We have
Absolutely.
to pay attention to the numbers, and so this is the biggest Black turnout since Obama in America, and they actually turned the tide of the vote in those key swing states. in Wisconsin and in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. And it was those African Americans that came out to vote Trump out is how they turned the election in our favor. Remember, it's only 80,000, really about 80 to 100,000 people that really turned the electoral college in the favor of Joe Biden, and that was by all means by South Carolina, the African Americans. That's how he won the primary, and they got together, mobilized, and vote because they realized that Biden was the only guy that could have beaten Trump. Without that, and Trump and this pandemic and all that stuff, Trump will be a president again. And it was the African American vote that came out and voted him out. Now, when they start talking about making it harder for African American vote, I think that's a false flag. I think that's a red herring because, listen, nothing is what this young lady said, and I thought that was great when she said that. Nothing is ever obtained easily in this country. And I do believe the biggest problem we have, and I find that in the contractors in New York City, where they don't even fill out the right paperwork and all that stuff, and they always wonder why black people don't get these contracts. Well, because we're not doing the diligence. And I think if we start to do the diligence, get the information, get together and amass quietly, not loud and marching and screaming, so on. No. We amass and do the diligence and get together quietly. Look who's doing it. The Koreans are doing it. I say this every day. Yep. The Koreans are doing this. The Indians are doing this. The Arabs are doing this. The Jews are doing this. Everybody is getting together. They're filling out the paperwork. They're doing the work. If we are going to win as a community, we have to do the work and stop begging for someone to give us the work. If we can just do the work ourselves, they cannot beat us because we're more talented. We are more talented. We have the ability to withstand more. We're resourceful as a people. We just have to combine our skills and stop yelling and screaming about it and just go do the damn work.
I like this. And also what I think is, it might be controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. I believe that black people should not vote Democrat anymore. They should not vote Republican either. I think they should vote independent, and they should fight. They should pander to us, and we should not. We should hold the line until they give us what we want. If we
hold the vote hostage,
I think black people. Well, brinksmanship sometimes can backfire, but I do understand that if black people voted independent, and in other words, meaning voting by issue, not by party, voting by issue and not by party. Right. I do believe that adds another level of power to the vote. But listen, you're talking rarefied air now, Robin. You're talking rarefied air. Because I don't believe, and I hate to say this to you, I am challenging your audience to educate themselves to this process.
I think if we voted black first, we would abdicate both parties and make them.
Well, black people are more conservative. Yeah. Black people are way more conservative. Yes. And to be quite honest with you, and I always said this about Obama. The only thing black about Obama was his skin color, because Obama was really a white liberal lady, about 55-year-old white liberal lady.
And black skin.
Obama's he's really a Karen. Right. Obama was a Karen.
Right. No, that's my belief. I think we should abdicate both parties because they're using us. They'll sit there and say, like they did to Ice Cube. Remember when he had that
Oh, they got him.
That contract with America. What is that? I forgot the name of it. And then he went to the Democratic Party.
Well, because they look at black people as a monolith, just like we look at white people as a monolith, as opposed to looking at them as per issue situations. Like we have to look at, we're looking at all of white people. Like we're mad at Pizza Joe and the guy who was a plumber and the refrigerator. Yeah.
Did you go?
We're mad at the refrigerator guy.
Did you do knockout on me? Yeah. He went to knockout on me. Glass Joe.
But we're mad at those guys. But those guys are just regular guys working. Our issue is with the Constitution. And it's a bill. It's just basically an invoice for paid labor that wasn't paid. That's what you should pay.
That is correct.
That's all. It's just an invoice. I have an invoice, a $14 trillion invoice for paid labor by African slaves. And my grandfather and great-grandfather did the work, so they need to be paid for it. It's $14 trillion. That's the bill.
Yep.
There you go.
That's it. And I think that's a discount. It should be more than $14 trillion, honestly.
Well, because we built the economy of the United States of America. It's the reason for the Revolutionary War. It's because they were making so much money off slave labor. They was like, I'm not letting you tax me all this money I'm making off these free Negroes. So here's the deal. We're going to go to war for this. And we're going to win this country back. And that's how we're going to do it. Them punk-ass French lined up with us because they hated England at the time.
Right. Absolutely.
So they should give us free Bitcoin.
Free Bitcoin?
Yeah, because the dollar's out of
It's out of
Yeah.
It's over for the dollar.
Here's a predictive. I'm going to predict something. If they were, first of all, to say, because remember, black Americans are twice the population of Austria and Sweden combined. Okay? So if they were to say, listen, they were to carve out, let's say, some land in the country and give African Americans who want to go there $14 trillion, it would devastate the American economy. It would be the equivalent of all the football players walking off the field in the NFL. And then the NFL will be devastated. If African Americans pull their money out of the United States of America, the country would die. It would seize up and die, because at the end of the day, they keep talking about this liberal and conservative, but we have a co-symbiote relationship because they're liberal, because these corporations, without the money from African Americans, they would not survive. They would not survive. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying to you guys is know your power. Know your power. If you don't know your power, then you will always be fooled.
Right.
You have to know your power. They can't take your right to vote. It's your right already. So go vote. Show up. Do the diligence. They can't take it from you.
All right.
Hey, ladies.
Anyway.
So I don't know if you want to be involved in this conversation, but they're legalizing prostitution in New York City.
As they should.
As they should, right?
As they should. As they should. At the end of the day, listen, first of all, the guys have been in long-term relationships, marriages, all this shit. First of all, when you're in a marriage and you've been there for 25 years, your wife don't want to hump you no more. Go get
Go get some leg.
You know, I think on an entrepreneurship standpoint, I think we should have a quality assurance group to check these hoes. You know how you have these people, the Department of Health, that goes into these restaurants.
That's a good idea,
and
Jack.
give you these A's, these B's. We need people to come.
They need a
with
stamp,
gloves,
like an A certification, right?
Right. So we need a vagina swabber, a butthole swabber,
Clean.
a mouth swabber, right? So a person going to test
the quality control test.
exactly
Someone to
test
go in
the
there and
product.
That's
to
Gary.
make sure,
Gary can do it.
to make sure the products are
I think Gary
proper.
might be testing products on his own.
He's like, you're an A, baby. You're an A.
You should have like a Carfax. You should have a
VIN number, like
VIN number, for the vagina,
Run
So
Carfax.
right,
Yeah.
so you
She's
can,
got some miles on her.
so you can put yourself on Google.
And maybe she
You know what I'm
can, if parts may break down, she might need a tune-up.
Hey,
Right, yeah, there's no doubt.
She can get sponsorships, for upgrading.
Right. On the but look at it. Look
She
at it
probably
like
get a
this.
Nike
And let me tell you,
sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? She just wear the whole Nike gear. You know what I mean? And make money.
Yeah.
Well, in Prague and Amsterdam,
That's right.
and in Christiania and Denmark, they have these situations where the red light districts in Hamburg, Germany, where you can go in and boom, 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 they take care of you. It's easy, it's clean, and it's well regulated. By the way,
Yeah, very well regulated.
I mean, it can happen. And at the end of the day, what's the difference from going into a little thing and spending $100 or having to go out and spend dinner?
Wow.
For $250.
Wow.
At the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
Listen, it's an economically sound.
We could make a one-stop shop. Bring brothels back. BBB, bring brothels back.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have to call it a brothel. We can call it, Happy House.
Right.
And all the women there are 1099 contractors. Just like if you go to a doctor's
But
office.
think of the service you would be doing. Rape would go down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Pedophilia would go down. All those problems, all those social ills
We'll
would
have
go down
menus.
because you give men a relief. 'Cause men are
MILF
screwed up.
Mondays.
Yeah.
Give him some
I mean,
sleeve.
you gotta remember that kills human trafficking for that.
It kills bacteria, right? We can get sponsorship from
Purell.
Purell antibacterial. You know what I'm saying?
In
We can have
the
a
chat
vitamin
room,
shop.
Tathina
KY
Richards
jelly.
says.
See?
Tathina Richards says, back in the day, the prostitutes could work, but they had to carry their medical card showing
Right.
they were clean.
Now we need your vaccination card.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
First of all, how did she know that? That's what.
Hey, hey,
Tathina, can you please elaborate on where the basis of your knowledge actually comes from?
women know
about that.
everything. Women know
yeah, because
everything.
these women have to be clean. These women have
Right,
to be
right,
clean. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Clean product. You're not gonna put a dirty burger in your mouth. You're gonna put a clean burger in your mouth, right?
Listen,
So,
I think it's a great idea. I think that it should be done,
A
and I
quality
think it's
assurance
a
group.
long time coming. You know what I'm saying? And like you guys are saying, it will. You know, if a guy gets pent up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Listen, you go in there on 14th Street
Right.
and you go in a building like in Hong Kong, right? When you go to Hong Kong, same deal. Prostitution is legal. They have a 21-story building with apartments in it, and and you knock on the door, and a girl comes to the door, and like it's a whole thing that happens, and it's legal.
Listen,
Well, first of
businesses
all,
have
we live in a
left New
sexually
York.
repressed society.
Businesses have left New York. People have moved out. Businesses have left, and need another tax revenue to come in.
Right, yeah, you're right.
Get
Well,
them
well,
hoes
weed
to
is
file
now
those
legal.
Right.
W-9s.
Yeah, you're right. Lays, he's just weed is legal now.
right.
Right. Weed is legal, so why not prostitution? You know what I'm saying? That is another form of revenue for the state.
Tax revenue.
Listen, you guys heard it first. A one-stop shop is called Happy House. It's
Go ahead,
going to be
Jeff.
a building in the bottom. We're going to have hookah. We're going to have a dispensary. We're going to sell condoms, lubes, vitamins, Cialis, Essentia going to be
Viagra.
Put a doctor's office in there.
a
and
doctor's
he can
office
test
in
you
there.
out, you know?
We're gonna have COVID swabbers, one-stop shop. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
There's an
talking
app.
about.
You make an appointment. You come the day before. You get your COVID test. You get freshened up, and then the next day you come in. You know, you can bring your wife. You can bring
Right.
everything. Your side piece. You know.
You've thought about this, Jeff.
Yes. I've been thinking about this for years. You know what I'm
And
saying?
then you know what? If you a male of a certain age, they got a yoga room. You can stretch before you go
Yes.
in. Then, you know, you can
Yes,
do all
we
that.
have a wax parlor in the back.
I kinda
You
like
know what I'm
this.
saying? Listen, it's good. We got Lamar's class next door.
Right.
Listen, it's the circle of life.
Oh, and a daycare
Listen,
center.
listen, we need
Exactly.
to just go
Sex
straight
brought you.
Sodom and
Sex
Gomorrah.
brought you here, right?
And put a daycare center on the
Yeah.
roof.
Listen, I'm good with it. I'm
Hey,
good with it.
hey, and listen, somebody got to take care of them kids, right?
Right.
Put
Yeah.
the daycare center.
Yeah. Happy hour for
my
everyone.
God. Oh wait, Tathina came back with it. Here she goes. Tathina Richardson. I ran a company for a 92-year-old gentleman that when he was young, he worked on a bicycle. He worked on a bicycle, picking up the medical cards and delivering it to the prostitutes after they were tested.
Nice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Rob, that looks like some kind of hustle you gonna be into.
I'm just trying to tell you something. Listen, you know what I'm saying? I do CPR cards. Why not?
You teach the whole CPR.
Exactly right.
You know what? Teach the whole CPR.
It's good business for me.
Well, it's third party risk management.
Right.
Risk management. That's
Right.
Right.
Yeah, like
Right.
for the older gentlemen who come in there,
Right.
they're not really heart healthy.
Right.
Everybody should be
we need
CPR
a
certified.
booty hole. We need a booty hole detective. There's plenty coming in there.
Absolutely. Some guy come swap.
Yeah.
I personally like the idea, and I think it's great for the economy.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Why are you naked?
I mean, look at the massage parlors. The massage parlors. I mean, it can happen.
You can put an AED in there. You know, you can sell them
We can
AEDs.
work.
And the inspection company should be called Hot Glove.
Hot glove.
Hot
Right.
Glove.
I love
Because
this.
when you have a white glove effect when you go in and you sweat
yes.
with the white glove,
Yes.
but we can't call it white glove. There's somebody is taking it away. But hot glove, because it's supposed to be a warm, hot
truth
area.
be told, it works in Europe. This country is way too overly sort of whacked out about sex. I mean,
Puritan.
Clearly,
time, like
clearly we do whack
Yeah,
that
when you
about
go-
education, sex.
Puritan.
anything.
Puritan stuff.
We're very Puritan. Well, like even if you go to like the gyms and the spas, they're co-ed in Europe, and women and men are walking around naked. We're just so hopped up on it. Like they'll be in a spa and they'll be naked. They go into the steam room. Like I've walked into saunas where women would just be in there chilling with no clothes on, just laid
Word.
out, straight naked in Europe.
Yeah,
And-
I
I was
and
stunned.
I felt funny.
I've been to Russian bathhouses. It's called banya, and the Russian bathhouses
And-
is
yeah.
very nice.
Same thing.
Well,
Yes, I'm not getting beat with the mint leaf though, but
I take it.
Nah, but I remember walking into one of those joints in Europe, and You're there, and I thought I was in the wrong room. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm walking in, I got my towel on, and there's women in the room that are naked, and then you see a guy or two guys over there naked, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And because
and you feel funny with the towel on. They're looking at you sideways with the towel on.
right, like why is he wearing the towel? Oh, he must be an American. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah, that's how I know you're American.
yeah. That's how they know.
We'll see.
Tatina
I
says
just
the
balls out at that point. I go wild. I just wild out. Just balls out at that point. I'm going in.
it was
Stretching
really
balls out.
it was really odd. I can tell you, like now I'd be comfortable with it because I kind of understand it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, back then we were a lot younger. You know what I'm saying? So to walk in and see this happening, and you're an American, you know, with this Puritan, you know, ideology, you know, you're like, well, should I take the towel off or should I leave it? Like, what am I doing?
That goes to more of a conversation about sex in Europe and sex in America around the country. And like in Europe, especially Central Europe and Scandinavia, sex is just a thing. Like I've seen guys drop their girlfriend off to go meet other guys and pick them up after they had their little moments. It happened. You know what I'm saying? In Europe, in America, it's a little different. But in Europe, they really kind of free about sex.
Right.
It's not a big deal.
Well,
here it's
America started out like a penal colony, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we used to.
Crime is what it is. That's what it is. Oh, Sharia. Right, she's over in the corner. She's chilling. Hey, Sharia, how you doing?
Hey, Sharia.
She participated in the chat room. She's like right there. You could have just yelled that out. She says, I want to create an app to show sex workers that they are clean. Yeah, okay. You might be onto something.
You can make a whole business around this. We're already
Yeah,
building.
there's an economy
making some-
happening.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What was on one of those
Well, you
other
could do it
times?
like you could do it like Vegas. Like Vegas, women go to Vegas to work. You could just say, "Hey, here's the price." They go to the room, they clean, they go do their thing, and then they pick up their clothes and walk out of there.
I love that.
And they go home. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I
Right.
think this is something they should do in New York as well,
Mm-hmm.
and in these cities, because that creates income, revenue, and people. People that are kind of uptight. You get that. Because once at the end of the day, most guys just need to get their nut out. I'm being honest with you. I'm sorry. But once that nut's out, it's all over. Everything's cool.
Right.
Most guys are
Listen.
those guys are wacky until they get their nut off, and then after they nut off, they're like, okay, everything's cool.
We're in Astoria. In Astoria, there's a nice swinging club called Caligula. And this is not a sponsored plug-in. But Caligula's open. It's a nice swingers
Jeff.
club
All right, Jeff.
here in Astoria. You can visit. It opens at 8. And,
What kind of club is this? I'm sorry.
Swingers club.
Swingers
Gary,
Club.
Yeah.
Gary, calling Gary.
Oh, Gary knows that joint.
I don't know about that.
I think it's $60 a person, and it's a discount. because
What
of
about
the
that fetish spot that's in Queens? What's that fetish spot, Gary?
What fetish spot?
Come on, Gary. You know.
You know the joint.
What fetish spot? Seriously?
Whip.com. Yeah.
Why does Gary know all this stuff? Gary, are you
Gary's
I don't know.
Did somebody hear that Dr. Dre is having to pay $300,000 a month for spousal support?
$300
Yeah, $3
a
million
month.
a year.
Listen.
Yeah, it's coming out to about $3 million a year. Well,
Why am I paying you $3 million a year?
But check this out.
It couldn't have been that good.
until she
Marries.
Until she marries again.
She's not gonna get married again.
Yeah, that's over.
Yeah. So
Would you
gonna
blow
be-
$300,000 a month to
She's
get
gonna be
married?
spending your money.
I said long ago he should have just gave her $50 million and be like, go away. But
She
no.
wrote that.
So my question is, I know somebody just said he's got plenty of money, but my question is, suppose it was reversed. Is it okay for a man to get that kind of money from a rich woman? Is that cool?
I mean, yeah, to stop him from beating my ass, sure, you can have it. I'm like, listen, go ahead. I'm like, you can have half.
$300.
Like Mary J. Blige's husband got, was getting a lot of money from Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, but he was
Wendy
abusing her,
Williams'
too.
husband gets a lot of money from Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I'd be like, listen, you don't have to beat my ass no more. You can just have half. Let's work it out.
And keep it moving.
Well, yeah, Mary's husband was beating her ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they doing this thing in the U.S. where they're going, the U.S. is going to separate non-vaccinated versus vaccinated, which is happening in France, apparently. And will the U.S. really go from door to door to make sure people got
Oh yeah,
vaccinated?
Lace, did you hear about this?
They have a budget.
yeah,
And they're gonna try to fix that budget. It's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
So are they actually trying to do this? Like,
No. What they're doing is they're trying to solicit people to take the vaccine, but they're not going to go to door to door do the big brother. You guys,
Well, they were talking about it at one time.
yeah, they talk about a lot of stuff. But I think
They wanted to incorporate that with the census workers. I heard they wanted to incorporate that with the census workers and, have that as an added thing. How much people in your house and are people vaccinated? So
What happened to the HEPA law?
That's HIPAA.
yeah.
No, HIPAA's out the window now.
The problem is
we're at a state of war. Remember they declared war?
Right. Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. The problem is, see, when they had the polio vaccine, you didn't really have a choice. Remember the polio vaccine, and when they would go and they would go to the school, they would line the kids up and all give them a shot. There was no real choice back then with the polio vaccine, those other vaccines, the measles vaccine. But now they're giving people a choice. Obviously, the Americans, the United States, such a young country, that they're not mature enough to do the right thing. But at the end of the day, take the vaccine, because if you don't take the vaccine, you're going to end up. First of all, the people that don't have the vaccine are the ones that are going to get knocked off. I'm telling you right now, those are the ones that are going to get died with the variant, because the people that have the vaccines are doing fine. 99.2% of the people that get sick, that have the vaccine, do not get sick, do not have. They may catch COVID, but it doesn't really affect them anymore. But the people that are not vaccinated are getting devastated in this country.
Okay.
Not
I get it. But I'm, let me just counter. Let me counter.
Okay.
So for me, I'm gonna have to have no choice, right? I'm gonna ride this out until I have no choice. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm wearing my mask indoors and around people until I have no choice. Which means if I have to go to school and I have to go back, which soon, I'll take the vaccine in order to go back to school. That's it. I mean, until then, all I know is Johnson & Johnson, right? Moderna
terrible vaccine.
and Pfizer have not yet been approved by the FDA yet. That I do know. That's a fact. Number two, you brought up polio, which is a great example. The polio vaccine eradicated polio. We can't classify this as a vaccine if it keeps coming back.
Yeah.
It doesn't eradicate COVID.
It's not getting eradicated because the people aren't taking the vaccine. Therefore, the virus is mutated.
That's
The
fine.
virus is mutating in non-vaccinated people.
Well, to me, I look at the vaccine like a flu shot. When the flu shot is actually, when everybody goes once a year, they get vaccinated with a old strain of the flu shot.
Right.
It protects you up until a certain point, but that doesn't mean you won't catch the flu. You can
but
still,
the flu doesn't kill you in 2 weeks.
but the flu can kill you though. I'm just saying, once you get reinfected, when you get reinfected with a mutated version. It doesn't eradicate it.
4 billion people on the planet, 600,000 people in the United States in a year. Those are real numbers.
Those
That's
are real
quantifiable.
numbers. Those are very real numbers. Those are very real numbers. I also know that because of COVID, the flu, actually, the actual flu influenza went down so sharply that they couldn't even record it.
COVID killed the
Because people
flu.
were
COVID.
No, because people were wearing masks and they weren't transmitting the flu. The flu is transmitted to the air, to the mask, people sneezing on each other in close quarters. Well, all that changed during COVID, if you really understand. And then what happened is now because that changed, people weren't getting the flu. And that's because the things that causes the flu weren't happening.
Yeah. Well, I'm treating
At the end of-
COVID
at
like
the-
the flu
at-
until I
Well,
get vaccinated.
Well, I'm going to pray for you, sister.
Yes. That's okay. That's
This is-
okay.
it's about to happen.
And
Yeah, go ahead, Liz.
and I'm just want to say, listen, we drinking, we hooping, we eating bad food, all that shit. All that shit is what Maria Davis said a couple weeks ago on the show is real to this day. She said, "It's food and guns that's killing us, not no damn body."
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, the human body can withstand this vaccine and it can protect you from. This is my opinion. It can protect you from this virus. If you have unless you have an ailment that like Brock talks about why he can't take the vaccine. I totally understand.
Right.
But if you're able to take the vaccine, you're healthy enough to take this vaccine. And I fought along with this. I got children, and at the end of the day, my kids are going to school and all that stuff. I need to take the vaccine because I'm trying to protect my children
Right.
at this point in my life.
The one thing I do.
Yeah.
No, the one thing I do. Get close. The one thing I do think about, because I'm not vaccinated, is when I need to get my paperwork together. Like, for some freak reason, I do get COVID and have not been vaccinated.
Right.
And I have to wind up being on an oxygen tank in the hospital, and it's a tube down my throat. I need to know that my papers are in order. I need to make the moves in order for, I've thought about it ever since the COVID hit, like, do I have my affairs in order in case, because you just didn't know at the time,
So in that way, if you're weighing it like that, go get the vaccine, okay? At least
No, but
get the vaccine in.
No, it's fine. No, you're right. However, but I think at a certain age, we all should be getting our affairs in order. It's not even about COVID. I think it brought it home. But
now we're talking about a will. We're talking about a living will.
we talking about doing the right thing. That's what. Yeah. If you're gonna leave a legacy behind, right? Who's gonna be? If you're the key person, you are the key person. If you are the key employee or the key owner, and something happens, how do you know that your business is going to carry on after you're gone? What have you put in place?
That's a great first of all, a great pivot, number one, but it's also a great subject because I think you need to do a show about how are your affairs. And
True.
Most people don't want to have that conversation.
Get closer to your mic, Lace.
I think that's a great subject, and also a great pivot, by the way.
I know.
A great subject, and I think that you should do a show, Rock. The real discussion, talk to all our people, especially people of a certain age, and the subject should be: are your affairs in order? I think that's a great conversation that we should be having because a lot of our affairs are not in order. I mean, you got life insurance and all other stuff, but where does it go? Because once you're dead, everybody's just fighting over your stuff.
Yep.
I mean, you don't know where it's going, and people are going crazy. They're picking your bones. So I think that's true. We need to sort of put our affairs in order, especially people that are over 40, over 50. At that age, at this point in our lives, come on, you see people dropping dead left and right, and everybody's just picking their bones. I think it's right. Robin, you nailed it. I think that's a great story, and I can't wait for you to put that.
Yeah, not only that, but too, let me pivot again because even, not only do we need our affairs in order, as far as like a living will, I always think about that poor girl who was living with DMX. His fiance.
Right.
Desiree.
Right.
Desiree. Yeah.
And she stuck it out with him through. She was probably trying to get him not to hit the pipe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Went through all his mood swings and still had his kid.
Yeah.
And then by the time they said, okay, she probably homeless now because, she's probably living with him. He's dead.
Right.
She had no papers, nothing.
Nothing.
She showed up with a baby and nothing.
Like, this is my kid, this is his kid, and nothing.
Yeah, they're like, so what?
And she
so
lost
what?
And she lost in court too.
Yes.
Well, where's his money? Because obviously he was upside down in his career.
Yeah.
And where is his legacy? Where is his catalog? And where is that money going to? I don't even think that there was even any. I didn't think that he was leaning on a new album in order to do that next.
Yeah,
thing.
he was doing movies too, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. My question is there money there? And that's something else you have to think about for most artists.
Yeah.
That's another conversation.
And even with the pivot, you got to understand something. You got to have what I call the death talk, right? And you got to have the death talk with your children.
You do.
And and say, listen, here's the deal. Because before my mom passed, we had the death talk, right? And I was a little younger then. I was like, oh, man, I don't want to talk about this. She's like, no, we got to talk about this. And her affairs were in order. Mm-hmm. She said, here's where my insurance policy is.
Right.
Here's where this is. Here's where that is. This is what I want to look like, right? When I want to be buried in this. Like, we really had that conversation, and it was very frank. In contrast to my father's funeral, who didn't have his papers in order.
Oh no!
Right? So there was a big fight between me and his sisters. You know what I'm saying? On how we were going to present and how we were going to, do the funeral. And then there was a little bit of a money fight that happened after that. Well, I should get it. People that you like. I haven't seen you in 10 years.
Right, they turn into your bitter enemies.
Right, it was crazy. Like me and my aunt to this day don't speak. And that's because his affairs weren't in order. When he passed, it was a money grab.
My father. Same thing. My father. I paid for my father's funeral and buried him and dressed all my nephews and cousins and everything. And then his wife at the time, not my mother, just took the insurance and broke out.
Wow.
Right.
And it was what it was, but I didn't care because it was obviously it was my duty to bury my father. But at the end of the day, you're right. This is a heavy conversation. And I'm glad that you did pivot here. I just think that this doesn't do it a service having it at the end of your show. I think you really should
have a show on it.
Do a show talking, talking about all your affairs and all that. That's really cool.
I agree with that. Yeah, we're gonna do that one next week.
All right,
Let's
talk about some bunkies and some penises now.
Well, we out of time, Robin.
I like your little blue shirt, Robin. By the way,
it's a dress, by the way. It's a dress.
Oh, Robin.
Skadoosh.
Robin.
It's high lace. It's a very nice dress.
Which brings me to black porn versus white porn.
Hey, Robin, do you have a bourgeois? Do you have a boudoir?
A boudoir?
Yeah, a boudoir.
I do indeed, sir.
Jeff.
I got a feather too.
Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff. Jeff, what was your take on black porn versus white porn?
Silly, Millie.
Ooh.
Como tal
Black porn versus white porn. I mean, I think, honestly, black porn versus white porn. I favor white porn.
I like interracial.
I mean, I don't like seeing a white man dominate a black woman.
I don't watch that one.
You know
I watch black men.
Yeah, I like to see the black man decimate these white women. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they be taking it, bro.
Yeah. Some of them, the skinny ones, they be taking the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Jesus
it's like
Christ.
I don't know, but I like.
Love that.
That's when we look at G Swag.
I like white porn. It's what I was exposed to as a kid. When porn used to be costly, and now porn is free. But I don't know. I like white porn. I think I like the interaction. You know what I'm saying? I like the I don't know how you say it in English.
I don't even watch the storylines.
The oohs, the ahs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The oohs, the ahs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the girls gotta be really into it.
I like the
so
girls.
So you're auditory.
I'm more auditory. Than visual. I just don't like the cursing. I think in the black porn is they have to say, F me, yeah. This and that.
I didn't know that.
And there's an aggressiveness with the black porn that I'm not really,
I haven't watched black porn in a while.
And then you know what? Black men tend to be more ashy at the knees.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I noticed that. And then they have the hair in their butt.
Right.
The butt crack.
I don't know about the butt hair. I try not to.
You don't see the hair in the butt crack?
But then there's the boots with the socks.
What the hell was that
it's
about?
A thing with the black porn.
No, and then they have
the
Yeah,
I just.
Hey, this is crazy.
You're not presentable.
Yeah, they have the chains on. They look like
Shout out to man.
You look like you
Shout out
come
to the
into
man
either
grooming.
rob the lady or fuck her. Like, what are you going to do?
But some have scenarios where they come sneak in the house. It's three of them, and it's a white lady on the couch.
Make it happen. Yeah,
and they we here to rob you, but
you're gonna
before
take
we go,
penis. You're gonna take this penis. Yeah,
right. I like those.
I just want to know where all these white girls come with these big butts. That's all
they get them done.
Is like white girls with big butts.
A lot of them are organic. A lot of them are just they just get the carving. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, you just get the fat move at the waist.
Yeah,
and stuff
that's
like
what the
that.
Kardashians do.
And fat transfer.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, they're here. They take.
I hate operations. I hate the operations. I mean, Rocco, do you like the butt shots? Are you into the women that have operations? I hate that.
Not at all. Not at all. I saw one the other day. Over there, I was at Guitar
it's
Center.
Unnatural. It looks weird. Like I seen like Nicki Minaj and all. Like when I'm looking at that,
it looks hard, right?
A beautiful woman just destroy herself. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Do they put something in there? What,
They
with that?
transfer.
What do they
There's
do?
fillers, there's fat transfers
Yeah.
that they take, you know.
They take it from the sides or the stomach and
Right.
they transfer it to the
Yeah.
That's
Now,
a BBL.
If you were to,
Totally
let's
disgusting.
say, kick them in the butt, right? Would that shift?
No, they'll feel it. They'll feel it.
No, but like, would it shift the contents? Like, would one cheek like kind of go up and one be
oh,
down?
you mean like a gel pad?
Yeah.
If you put silicone, then you might
That's
displace
what
the
Kay
silicone.
Michelle did,
Yeah.
didn't she? Kay Michelle did that.
But if
Yeah.
you do the fat transfer, the body automatically recognizes it, you know, as
it's organic. It's organic.
So, you know, you'll get the nice jiggles and stuff like
Yeah, you
that.
get a little jiggly.
But honestly, listen, everything fades with age. So
Karen says
we'll
his
know
name.
50 years from now who got everything done because they're going to be some old, decrepit, perky titty old ladies.
And-
Well, Karen Brewer says, "Hey, nothing wrong with a big white butt." I'm just saying.
Hey, there you
That's
go.
what Karen says.
As long as it's clean.
I just don't like. I don't like when they get older. I don't like the saggy. Like you got
Varicose
basketballs in your
veins.
ass.
Right. Tatina says, "Some of us were born with big butts." That's okay. There it is. Karen says, "Boot socks on the bed." No.
Yeah. They be stepping
Come
on the
stepping
bed.
on the bed. Like, come on, man. That's the presentation.
Black socks.
Listen.
Yeah.
Black socks. Black socks. Black socks. Black socks.
No.
It's like, why do all the white people get to take off all their clothes? You know what I'm
No.
saying?
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Two black men in tube socks.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Oh, they got on Timberland boots. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
For
What is
some
that?
reason, I personally, the interracial
Hello?
ones, I think
Yeah.
the white.
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, ladies.
Oh, okay. I think the white ones, the white women,
Right.
they get
You
the
never see
better
black women
selection
tube socks.
of black men. I'm like, ooh, look at these black guys. Like, they're nice. And you go to the black porn site, you're like, ugh. This is like Ray Ray and Pookie.
Yeah, it looked like, you know, I'm expected to see a liquor bottle on the damn dresser.
You might.
Right.
One of them might
You know,
have it. You never know.
The pink background, you know, it's just
Yeah.
like, come on, just please step up at least do the production.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Work. Yeah.
you're gonna do
Yeah,
some
dress it
work,
up.
but at least give me some production, some lighting.
Yeah.
You know
You're
what I'm
getting
saying?
ghetto porn.
I mean, what I
Wow,
mean, what
Jeff,
I
you're so
did.
disappointed. I see it in your
you know,
face.
I kind of
Who
go.
hurt you, Jeff?
I kind of it's either way for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be white porn or black porn. It just kind of depends. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. I don't have a preference to one or the other.
Okay.
And it could be interracial porn. I can say I'm not really into the Asian porn, right?
You mean like South Asian, like Indian?
No, like Asian, like Chinese.
Or the hentai, like the
No,
cartoon?
hentai is like anime, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm talking about
The Asian
porno
girls?
with the
I've
Asian
never
girls.
watched that.
Listen,
Yeah, it's not
as exciting.
yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's
I've
just
never
not-
watched it.
Yeah, it's not.
It's very slow. The strokes are very slow.
Is it?
The
Yeah.
strokes are very calculated. It's like two Toyotas fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There's
it's
a lot
just
of hair in Asian
Yeah, a lot of
porn.
hair.
yeah, it's a lot of hair.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a lot of. There's not a lot of.
I
Skating
want about the
going on.
grimace
Not
on the
attractive.
face. If you give me that grimace, like, I like to see your lips curl up. I want to see your nose flare and some boogers out of there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, give me something that you feeling something.
Well, I noticed that in hentai, right?
Now, what is hentai? I mean, what
hentai
is-
is the anime.
It's
porn.
anime porn, which I love, by the way. Except
Yes.
they really focus on that R word, that R thing.
Yeah.
Women in hentai are when
More
they engage,
victim-
they're in victims, and they
Yeah.
don't like it, and then they
Right.
do, and it's
Right.
kind of weird, and I'm like,
Right.
oh boy, this is.
And so I don't
shouldn't
want
like
it, but
this.
I want it.
They like
Yeah.
to be raped.
Yeah, this is like
I think.
Yeah.
I
I'll say.
I understand that
Yeah, nah.
because it's the modesty of the woman there. You know what I'm saying? Because the woman's supposed to be as shy and
I got
not
it.
really
Have you
with
guys
it.
been to Japan and see how small the women are in Japan? It's literally like
Sailor
they're
Moon.
in the suit of armor, and then like you can almost imagine yourself having sex with a turkey because they're really just that small.
Yeah, they're
Oh my
little
God.
people. They're really little
Oh,
people.
wow.
And that's fun. So that means you get two at a time.
And you know what's crazy is that the way that they dress, right?
No, they
'Cause
do like tubo
they'll,
cool.
they'll,
Tubo
they'll,
cool.
they'll have on these shoes that
Right.
will give the appearance, number one, that they're tall, or two,
Right.
that their feet are bigger, but when they take their shoes off, there'll be something to kind of shorten the distance.
Right.
You know, and then the next thing you know, you're kind of looking at this person who has a very, very beautiful face, but
11-year-old child.
yeah, exactly. You're like,
Right.
it's like, wow. Like, what is this? Now, what I can tell you about that is this. The head was incredible.
I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, it was like super duper head.
Because they got little tiny mouths.
Oh my God. It was just ridiculous. Yeah, it was
I'm-
ridiculous.
I'm sure the
Men
China
look-
box is good
black
too.
men look very impressive in the area and hands of an Asian woman.
Yeah.
Because they got little hands.
Yeah, like you look at yourself like, wow, look at me. You know, relativity. You know, it's dope.
All inside that. Yes, yes.
But
Oh my
then,
God.
I'm saying I don't see very many Asian men with black women. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
That ain't happening.
They'll get.
that's a fact.
Remember American God? You ever see them? That TV show American Gods?
no, I never saw that.
Where the lady, she was a god, but she would swallow men whole through her vagina. You see that?
Oh,
one?
I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen that. I
Is that
seen
on Netflix?
It's on.
Stars, isn't it, or something like
It's
sound
on.
like one of my
Hulu.
ex-girlfriends.
Oh wow! I think she was a goddess of sex or something like
And she swallowed them
Aphrodite.
whole.
Yeah, you
Yes.
see them going. They get smaller and
that? And they
smaller.
go inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her vagina.
Yeah.
She pulled the sheets in there too. She was like, shit, I want the sheets and
Oh,
the
she was a vortex.
To the damn garbage disposal.
Fucking black hole. No light escapes.
Yeah, American Gods. American Gods.
Karen Brewer
No
says.
penis escapes the black hole.
Karen Brewer says interracial only. White guys are too pink.
Bing.
She says hell no, no socks. Don't wear the socks.
No, please.
And Tathina says some of us were born with big butts. Okay, Tathina. Okay, she's talking about herself.
That's
probably.
it.
She's like, I got a big butt.
Speak up for the big booty.
Yeah, if you
Come
natural,
on. You're
you know.
bonky. Bonky.
If you natural, put it in the chat room.
If it's
baby. I'm just
big,
saying.
it's not a
The question
booty,
is,
it's a
is
bonky.
the stomach as big as the butt? That's what I need to know.
Oh,
The
You know,
stomach to
yeah, you
butt
know
ratio.
what? Yeah. Because it could be off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like having two butts, really.
One in the front, one in the back.
Belly,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
belly to butt ratio.
It's a big deal. The B to B.
It is
The
is it
B2B
a really
ratio.
big thing?
What?
With men?
What?
The belly to butt ratio?
We'll
The
go
waist?
there.
Yeah,
Is it a
hell
waist
yeah,
to
hell yeah.
waist to hips?
I'm gonna go
Not
with.
waist to hips, no. Belly to butt. I mean,
Really?
listen, I mean, waist to hips is relative, but big. I mean, I don't want her to have a bigger belly than I do. I mean, then we gotta talk.
that's
You know what
the
I'm saying? Yeah.
Right, then it's the clash of the bellies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen. I never. Tomb Raider never complained about it going in a tomb. Crocodile Dundee never complained about a damn crocodile. Right. That Indiana Jones never complained
that.
about
The
going
lost
in a
ark.
cave. You know what I'm saying? You just go in there and you do the do.
That's it. Come on, Jeff. Give him claps for
You know
that.
Because Tathina says no stomach, but yes, I have a big butt. She answered you, Lace. Tathina has a
Tathina?
big butt. Yeah, Tathina, she says, Tathina Richard says.
But then they got a big old butt. Oh, yeah.
You should have stocks in toilet paper because
Yeah, that's a,
Listen, having a big butt. Listen, to wipe your butt, you have to probably take off your watch.
you know what? I always measure big butts by how many wipes. Like that looks
Right.
like a 7 wiper right there.
Right.
Like
Is that your ruler?
Yeah,
That's your gauge?
What are we talking about? Hold on for a second. We've just gone crazy. Wait a minute. Now, are we saying the butt area or the booty hole area? Is it a big
I mean,
booty
once
hole
you
in there?
wipe
You
down
have to
there,
get around the skin to get to the hole, right?
you gotta get
The
you
hole
gotta-
is
What are
not
we
just there.
wiping?
Do
At
you?
that point, you just need a shower. Just jump in the shower.
It's all in the shower, honey.
you gotta have that reach around. You
Yeah,
gotta
you have
reach
to reach
around.
around.
And when you look at a booty, I would measure it up. I'd be like, that looks like an 8 wipe.
Yeah, 8 wipe, or,
Yeah.
or a wet wipe, then
Yeah,
a
that
dry
means
wipe,
you need
then
it.
a
That
wet
means
wipe.
your ass need a bidet. If that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
Well,
you
that
need a
means
bidet.
no.
you need a bidet.
But some toilet
And some
seats are
fiber.
not built for big butts.
Yeah, some of them are already standard.
Yeah,
You
so
gotta,
you gotta
do the sit and spread. Yeah, spread the eyes. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta spread
So
that
they gotta
bunky.
Spread the butthole so you
Yeah,
can just.
you gotta
know what I mean?
spread the
Do your
bunky.
business.
Karen just said it. She said, yeah. She said, you get a bidet. That's it. You get a
Yeah,
bidet.
maybe one day. But you know what?
Or else you got bangs over the toilet bowl.
Yo, man. It has been a dope Friday night, and this is a fantastic
I
show.
think this is the way we end the show, guys. This is
Yeah,
it.
no, we've hit the 2-hour mark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I first of all, I want to thank everybody in the chat room that participated. Karen and everyone in Australia. In Australia, we're actually the morning show in Australia, so that's always really nice. Mariana Dundas, Bobby Cowan popped in.
Oh, hey, Bobby.
What's up, Bobby? Tatina was live tonight, boy. Cherry Rose is in the house, right? Says it's okay to be gay behind closed doors. Okay. Right, Marianne Dundas. Anita Stone tuned in finally.
Hey.
She missed so many weeks, and she's finally back.
She's on track.
Yeah, she's on track. Mary Lou Ortiz, thank you for coming in. Elsa Sherney Brito, she was in today. Gladys Torres was in today, which was awesome. It was good. Hadn't seen Gladys in a long time. Mandy.
Tona Courtney was in.
Yeah, Tona was in today.
Share the show. Tell everybody.
Share.
Yeah, you guys make sure you share the show. It's getting really popular. And it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Young Plate. Oh, this is from we're being trolled. We're being trolled. Youngo. All right, dude, get a real name. All right. He's like, F your Cash App, I'm broke. Listen, the fact that you're broke is not my problem.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you better go out there. Prostitution is legal.
Yeah,
you better go out there and make it happen.
You better go out and sell some butt.
You better go get it. you better start wiping some toilet things.
That person must be getting it, because if you can afford internet, you're doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Carries and I had fun. Oh my God! Like, what is this? Are you trolling me, Young? What is his name? Hold on, look at this. I gotta get closer.
Where's your glasses, bro?
I don't know, but it's like why
You can't even be trolled in real time.
It's YUNGOPIATE. What is that?
Young toilet paper. That's what
There you go. Get a new name, son.
Hey, Rock, can I give a plug for the morning emails?
Please do.
Check Uncle A's out Monday through Thursday, 6:00 in the morning, about 5:30 to 7 in the morning, Monday to Thursday, morning emails. We do reggae. We do Mondays, go-go Tuesdays, we play go-go music. We do reggae Wednesdays, and the very strong Thursdays where we jam out. And we have great guests and great interviews. You never know who's going to show up on the Raw Perspective morning emails. And we will be back in August with my girl, Tanya Hazelhurst Dawkins and Dr. D. Nice Bojalin.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, guys, word up. That's the deal.
So, Rock,
Yeah.
I think this is a good time as we close the show out to talk to our viewers about what's the next step for you, because I heard you got some artists that went gold almost.
Yes. So what happened was this record, I'm sorry, that I put out 2 years ago on the Boardwalk Global Media platform. They're called KDW. We put out a record, and they streamed 100,000 streams as of yesterday.
Yes.
On this record.
Give yourself some
The record
claps.
called Nowadays.
Yep.
Then also,
And you stay right there, Rock, because that's exactly 47 cents if you leave it up to Spotify.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just stay your ass right there.
That's
and
right.
just put the plaque on the wall.
Yeah.
Put the plaque on the wall and enjoy yourself.
I'm gonna take the plaque and I'm gonna give it to the kids, right? Because it's kind of that, it's the first deal for them. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really expect it to do that. You know what I'm saying? But it's a great record. You know what I'm saying? And then the kids also were in a film or something, made for TV thing, where the song was also in it, and they ended up getting nominated for an Emmy.
That's
so
amazing.
yeah, so some really cool stuff has happened over the last few days.
Boardwalk Global
That's
Media.
it.
Big shout out to KDW. We're gonna shoot a video. We're gonna buy a camera. We're gonna buy one of those magic camera. What do you call it? Black magic.
Yeah.
4K joints.
And also,
shoot some
and
videos.
also,
Yeah.
Rock,
Yeah.
Maybe you should talk about how Spotify doesn't pay really no money for them streams. We got to figure out a way to fix that.
Come a little closer to the mic, Lays. Lays. I think I heard what he said. He said we should talk about Spotify and what they pay in terms of streams, right? Because they don't really pay you any money.
Most of the streams don't
Now,
pay
I'm
you.
saying we got to talk to
Well, most of the streams
the
don't.
pay rate for all the streams. Because a lot of people not really making the money they should be making on streams.
Absolutely, on these stream things, you know what I'm saying? And it's really sad, I mean, 2 years ago, I had a record that was 2.5 million streams, you know what I'm saying? you know, they could keep that check. You know what I'm saying? Because there wasn't nothing happening with it. It was nice to get the plaque,
Right.
but there was no financial gain for me, you know, versus when we actually sold
The
records
plaque costs more than what you got.
than what the
paid.
check was.
Right.
Matter of fact, I think I just took the check and was like, oh, let me get a plaque. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really like that. You know, because there's no thing on it. And we should talk about that, too. We should have a show about streams and stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we should go back to pressing records again.
Okay, Young Opioid, right? That's his name, Opioid. Like heroin, he says, I love KDW. Okay, so you heard the record. You put that out? Yes, I actually put that record out. Yes, Young Opioid.
And once COVID hit, because touring died, it was tough on everybody.
Yeah, it was rough. But people apparently were streaming like a motherfucker. Because I'm going to get the kids a plaque. But yeah, Young Opioid. Yes, I put that record out. And I'm glad you're a fan of KDW and all that. And ladies, we're going to punch out. I'm going to go smoke a cigar and enjoy the rest of my Friday.
All right, man. Enjoy yourself.
All right, that's a
Bye,
bet.
Lays.
All right,
See you later. That's my man, Lazy. He stayed on the whole show. That was dope.
We love that.
Yeah, that was dope.
First time in a long time.
Yeah. They hung out. This weekend, once again, make sure you catch. Tomorrow is Mi Gente, My People. Tomorrow at 4:00.
That's right.
Right, that'll be back on, and that's with Claudia C.C. Perez. Then Sunday, Hip Hop Boulevard is back with the conversation with Ty Dre and Al Pizarro. That'll be back on Sunday. Yeah. And then the Big Boy, which has become the Big Boy, the One Night Show, is on at 4:00.
Who's going to be on?
I don't know who the guest is. Let me look.
It's a councilman.
Yeah. Our councilman coming out, right? He said, "You the man for that." Oh, thank you, Young Opioid. He said, "You the man for that."
Cash App.
He's like, "Damn, that's
Send
dope,
the
kid.
Cash App.
Come on, you ain't that broke. give me $1, buddy. Come on, man. Get up off that Burn Entertainment." Hold on. What am I looking for?
Oh, the congressman that's going to be on One Night Show.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me find out. Hold on.
Young Opioid.
Young Opioid.
We got a new viewer.
Yeah, Young Opioid.
Yeah.
He's on he's on Twitch.
We love that.
Yeah, I like Twitch.
I was by to do the shoe, 3 different events tomorrow in my hood. How do I attempt to? Oh, okay. So here's what's happening tomorrow for Mi Gente, Mi People. Okay, that was Claudia. She said I was to do the shoe at 3 different. Okay, I guess she's saying she wants to do the shoot at 3 different events tomorrow in her hood. How do I attempt that on one stream, on how to stream? So I'll give Claudia a call and we'll figure out. So Mi Gente, Mi People will not be in studio tomorrow. It will be a live stream and we'll figure out how to do that, to stream that on the platform. And I'll call you later. Okay, I'm glad we saw that just in time.
See?
But we're going to do it at 4:00. And who's the person this week? This week, okay, we're talking about New Orleans. One bunch of stuff. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Greetings again. Made the final. Okay, minor change. All right. You know. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a doctor. That's right. His name is, okay, he's a, let me see, Meet New York City independent mayoral candidate.
Yeah.
He's a thoracic surgeon.
Wow.
Raj Flores.
Okay.
Nycha residents, let's hear from a medical professional point of view regarding the conditions in Nycha.
All right.
Yes, Andres spoke about him last week.
Yeah, so what's happening with him, and he is Spanish. He's a thoracic surgeon, and we're gonna carry over. Last week we had Sparkle. Oh my God, I forgot her last name. Wonderful girl though. Yeah. Her apartment was in shambles. Her ceiling was hanging. Her Nycha apartment, was hanging down right to the floor, and it's a mess. And she's living amongst mold. And she's actually a teacher, right?
That's crazy.
And she's there, and she's separated from the kids, and a whole lot of stuff went on. By the way, Channel 11, Monica Morales, they had watched in One Nycha Show, and then put her on Channel 11 like the next day or so.
All right.
So that was kind of nice. So people are actually watching the show. But we're bridging the thoracic surgeon over to talk about the health issues in Nycha, and he happens to also be running for mayor of New York City. So he's independent. I don't think it's gonna work out for him, but I like the fact
Keep his
that
day job. He could keep his day job.
yeah, he's independent and he's gonna do his thing.
That's it.
He's late in the race. So this week it's the Boardwalk Global Media podcast block that we do every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hold on, I'm gonna hit him with that. Don't worry about that. My man is at the table. Okay. Right? And we round off that whole block on Sunday night at 6 p.m. where Jeff does his own show, which is called Perspectively Yours, which it's incredibly insightful, right? You know, Jeff is good with topics and stuff, and a lot of topics we talked about, Jeff actually came up with today, and so you get to see Jeff in his element. And Jeff, do you have a co-host this week? Because I know you had a girl before.
Oh, Jeff, you got a co-host?
I do. I officially have a co-host. Her name is Tiffany, and so she'll be joining us for the rest of the season and the next season after that. So,
what are you talking about this Sunday?
Oh man, this Sunday, what are we talking about? We have a few topics we want to unofficially to share with you guys. We keep it on, a lot of relationship stuff because that's where my strong points are, and some of the topics that we wanted to talk about is period sex.
We talked about that too.
Like running red lights? What are you talking about?
Yeah, running red lights.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to talk about if love is enough to sustain a relationship. And
That's good shit.
I wanted to know is why do men act differently around their boys rather than around their girls? Why is it two different people? You know what I'm
I want
saying?
to throw something in there for your show, a topic.
Go ahead.
So if a man and woman live together, right, and you've split your bills 50-50,
right,
how much would that person need to have if you were not able to work? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much would they need to earn?
To carry you.
Yes.
Well, we spoke something about that. We actually had a caller that I called in last Sunday because she's moving into a house, right, with her husband, and she wants the husband to understand that the man should pay the majority of the bill, or the man should pay at least the mortgage or the rent. Because if you're the man of the house, you should be the man to cover the house. So therefore, you should take at least that bill, right? And she wanted to cover, the small things, with the water bill or the car insurance and stuff like that. So what my argument was that there is no set standard on where the bills are. I know society tends to have this template on how relationships should work, and people a lot of relationships fail because they try to fit a certain mold to satisfy either society or satisfy their lack of stepping out the box.
Right.
And between two people, when you're in a relationship, it's a contract between two people,
right?
And if you guys can compromise on how to make each other come, you can compromise on how to make each other eat, you can compromise your finances, you can compromise your respect, and you can sit on the table and find out how to essentially hash out your finances. Because we all know women save for a rainy day, right? I also know this couple that I spoke to where, the gentleman was upset on how the woman asked him, okay, let's just say the rent is $750, right? She asked him for $1,000.
Oh.
He thought for 3 years that the rent was $1,000, But then when he found out the rent was way less than that, he got upset. But I said, listen, she doesn't work.
Right.
So she is actually saving to help you guys because where's the money for the food?
Right.
You're fed every day. Your walls are painted every season. You know what I'm saying? So she has this thing. It's her incentives for a rainy day that you don't even know about, that she's saving for the family.
She's upcharging.
Yeah. So you're thinking that she's saving in case something's wrong with you guys so she can skip out. Well, she's saving because you guys also have 3 children.
And you have to function. Yeah.
And you have to function. So she needs to get her nails done, her things. She's still a woman, right? She's curating the house. So what? She upcharges a little thing. You know what I'm saying?
And that's, what is that, $250 a month on the upcharge? Like, come on, stop. Yeah.
So that little thing, you can't, and I told him these days, $250, you can't buy groceries.
You can't.
All right? And it's not going to
That
last.
wasn't even a doozy. That wasn't even like a real upcharge. That was,
You know?
should have been $1,500. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, I mean, yeah.
right. You know, so I'm like,
With 3
listen,
kids?
Yeah, I mean, he's paying more other things and stuff like that. You know,
but,
he's financially responsible, on certain accounts.
Right.
However, he thought that she was just playing game, where the woman she's not working, or she does a little hustle on the side or whatever she does. It's advantageous to give her a little incentive,
right?
And if she takes a little bit off the top, women have been doing that for the beginning of the ages.
Yeah,
and if men take that practice and save a little for ourselves, then we would understand what it is.
True.
And you know what? I'm gonna hit that. And what you just got, ladies and gentlemen, was just a sneak peek of Prospectively Yours.
Exactly. That's right.
I'm gonna punch out, and I think me and Rob are going to karaoke.
You're going to karaoke.
I'll see you all next week.
Absolutely.